He will be here with us in just a moment or two here on draft day. Jaguars go on the clock in 5 hours. They'll pick at 8:10. They'll pick Trevor Lawrence. Then after that, the watch is on for number 25 overall. Then tomorrow, the first pick of the second round. The 45th pick overall as well, which is like, what, the 12th, 13th pick of the second round. Then they'll pick 65th overall. That's in the third round. So 3 selections tomorrow night, 5 more on Saturday. Hello, the draft is here, and we're pretty fired up about it. Been on TV all day talking about it last night as well. Sat down with Shad Khan, the Jaguars owner, said he is fired up, pumped up. And you should be too, because it's about to go down. We got a beautiful day here in Jacksonville. It's a warm one, but that's okay. Pete's all the rain that potentially could exist. And we are ready to rock and roll. How about the news? For me and Rappaport and Adam Schefter, some Tebow words fluttering around out there that could Tim Tebow join the Jaguars as a tight end. I can tell you this. We had heard several times, Jags obviously were not confirming, that Tebow has worked out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So this is not a surprise, that much of a surprise, to hear those rumblings coming out today. But what does it mean? We'll get into that in just a little bit as well. By the way, sat down with Shad Khan yesterday. We'll have Urban Meyer live tonight at 7 o'clock on CBS 47 and Fox 30, an hour before the draft. We plan on talking with Josh Allen and also DJ Chark right around the time the Jags draft pick is happening. Josh Allen, of course, picked a couple years ago, number 7 overall. DJ Chark will be catching passes from Trevor Lawrence. And then we expect to hear from Trevor Lawrence himself via a Zoom call, Microsoft Teams, whatever it might be. He is in Clemson, South Carolina, at the place that he stayed during college. Small draft party about 3 miles from Death Valley, where he played his college football. And that's how the night is going to go down for Trevor Lawrence here and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He'll arrive in Jacksonville most likely tomorrow. So that's how the scene is set. Hello, Austin Lane.
What's going on, man?
Welcome.
Good to be here. Exciting. Interesting field thing we got going on here with
hey, go get your bingo card.
The social distance. Yeah, exactly, man. It's a little different over here, but I'm glad to be a part of it. It's cool to be in the stadium where everything's going to be taking part here, and hopefully, probably tomorrow, you're thinking Trevor Lawrence will be on that stage, or are we thinking tonight?
He will be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He won't be on the stage because there won't be fandom for that, but he will have a news conference. It will not be tonight. I can tell you this. I think the Jaguars, maybe even, whatever that pick was going to be, if it was close enough, thought about and entertained the idea of trying to get that person to the draft party if it was close enough. And Trevor Lawrence isn't far away from a plane ride now.
That's what I'm saying.
But the logistics of that just can't go down. I mean, it's not going to happen. And so Trevor Lawrence will be here tomorrow. Heck, I heard from somebody in town this week that Trevor Lawrence is looking at a home with his wife on Saturday. He's already planning to look at a house.
Kuz, is that from you? Is that from the Trevor Tracker?
Yeah, I'm going to take credit for that.
You better. You better.
Yeah, you better take you better definitely take credit for that. So, by the way, we have the draft on ESPN 690 here tonight. So if you are in your car, you're out and about, you're not watching CBS 47 and Fox 30 for a moment, but you can listen to the draft right here on ESPN 690. Some rumors starting to swirl, right? Trey Lance, San Francisco.
Yeah.
What will Atlanta do? Are they willing to trade out? Are they going after Mac Jones if he lands there? Do they want Kyle Pitts if they stay put? Then there's also rumors now of New Orleans trying to move into the top 10, maybe for a defensive player. But I think it was Diana Rossini who said if there's one quarterback available at that time, they'd be interested. So, hey, it's a typical draft day, whether it's smoke screens, new information. The information's been tough to come by for the national folks. So this is going to be a tough one to predict, especially starting at 3.
Yeah, Trey Lance now, according to Vegas odds, he is the favorite to go to San Francisco, which is kind of crazy. I mean, literally the night of the draft, the whole narrative has been, is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Mac Jones? And now we're on the Trey Lance bandwagon. But don't worry, Brent, we've been on there for a while now. We've been talking about that for a while, and it's good that everyone's starting to come around now and come to their senses a little bit. But like you said, I mean, essentially there's 4 quarterbacks to take here, right? Well, we know Trevor Lawrence going to Jacksonville. Zach Wilson, more than likely, going to New York. So that leaves you what? It leaves you Justin Fields, and leaves you Trey Lance, and possibly Mac Jones, depending what happens with him. So if you have 3 quarterbacks available, and there's what? Maybe 8 teams that need a quarterback right now? Well, it's the Wild West out there, right? And teams are going to try to trade up as much as possible. But once again, what's real? What's a smokescreen? Time will tell.
And I'll still repeat what I said the other day, and that is I think if people are right about first-round grades only to 16, 18 guys, well, then what does that mean on the back end? Will people move up to try to get a first-round guy? Will guys teams stuck at 24, 25 try to move back because there's more value moving back and collecting picks because there's a block of players from 20 to, say, 50 that are more similar than the top 20 in that separation. If they can't move up, maybe they slide back and gather another selection in the second or even the third round. So there's a lot of different ways that this thing can play out, and the beauty of it is we don't know. I joked around today on social media. I had this thought. It's like, the NCAA tournament, to put out like $1 million or it's even more than that sometimes if you get the whole bracket right,
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't do that for the NFL draft, do they? And it'd be very hard if somebody knows it because of trades, and it'd be a really hard thing to predict.
Trades pretty much make it impossible, but then again, picking the NCAA tournament bracket 100% right is also impossible as well. I'm a little surprised that you don't really see that much, but I guess just with the trades, it can happen anytime, anywhere. It makes it impossible to predict.
All right, so you just jumped in here, and you saw some of the reports probably. Tim Tebow requested a workout according to Adam Schefter.
I've gotten 5 text messages.
Tim Tebow has worked out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to we don't throw it out there if we can't confirm it, but I've heard this for going on 6 weeks now that he already worked out for him. And what does that mean? We don't know. He didn't sign him. But that Tim Tebow wants to give it a run at tight end under Urban Meyer. I don't know if he's going to go work out for the Eagles and go work out for the Vikings. I think this is an isolated situation. Work out for his neighbor now, by the way, because Urban Meyer bought a house there in Glen Kernan near Tebow. So what do you make of it? What do you think of it? Try to wrap your arms around just the idea of an Urban Meyer, a Trevor Lawrence, and a potentially Tim Tebow on this roster as well. I mean, heck, if you wanted a little fanfare, you got it.
Yeah, without a doubt. So you said about 6 weeks or so you've been kind of sitting on this?
Well,
because it begs the question then with free agency, once again, if we talk about, the New England Patriots getting Hunter Henry, the Patriots also getting Jonnu Smith. Listen, I'm not sure what type of tight end Tim Tebow is, but is there, I guess, a fail-safe to say, okay, well, we didn't get those guys, but we have Tim Tebow maybe on standby? Like, do you buy into that narrative?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it would have prevented them from doing anything. I think this is an interesting situation for Tebow and Meyer in that relationship. First of all, you're not coming back and you're not just automatically going to be on the roster in camp. I'm sure if Tebow wants to do it, Urban Meyer will listen. They work him out. What did they see? Now that this is coming out during draft time, even though it may have already happened and the prospect of it happened even some 6 weeks ago potentially, and there's been talk about this, how much improvement has he made? We know Tebow works his butt off. When he went to minor league baseball, professional baseball, he worked at it. Once he got committed to it, has he been doing that? Did they see something good about Tebow as potential in the tight end spot? They obviously have a void of talent in the tight end room, so it opens up an opportunity. I just don't think you say, oh, no, we can't get Jonnu Smith. We might have Tebow running in. We can't do this in the draft. We might have Tebow coming. I mean, this is such a wild card. Who knows what happens, if it even does happen, as he gets on the field and gives it a shot. I don't even know if that were to happen, what I would put the likelihood that he's on the roster in September. I mean, I give him credit for trying if he wants to do it, but it doesn't mean he's going to make it.
Any other day, I would say, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's think of the circus that would probably transpire if this is true, and he becomes, a tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I won't take away from Trevor Lawrence's day. I'm all about Trevor Lawrence, so nothing can ruin my mood right now. But I will say this, though, about the situation. If we look at what the Saints do with Taysom Hill, tight end / backup quarterback / gadget guy, I wonder if Urban Meyer sees that and what Sean Payton does in New Orleans and says, all right, I know a guy. I know Tim Tebow. Now, is Tim Tebow Taysom Hill? Probably not in terms of speed. I think in terms of agility, no. But theoretically, could you run some kind of gadgets? Could you put him at tight end? Could you put him in the backfield? Yes, you probably could do that. My only thing, though, is keep in mind in New Orleans, they're doing that with Drew Brees, who was on the back nine of his career and now has chose to walk away from the game. Do you really want to do that with Trevor Lawrence, who's coming in here for his first year, who needs time to develop, get his confidence, all this stuff? Are we really talking about now Trevor Lawrence coming out of the game sometimes so Tim Tebow can go in and run gadget plays? I'm not sure if I can co-sign with that.
Well, what's interesting is, and I know you've never been a fan of that anyway, but, I mean, if Drew Brees was coming out of a game, I think anybody can come out of a game.
But once again, it was Drew Brees in the back nine of his career.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of a rookie quarterback in Trevor Lawrence having to come out of the game now so Tim Tebow can go in.
Yeah, and that's fair. We'll see. That's always an interesting juggling match, but it's also a part of things now. Like, how are you going to use this piece versus this piece? It would be interesting. Listen, it's a fascinating storyline. I'd have to see what they do in the draft, what their room looks like. Heck, what Tebow looks like as a tight end. I mean, who knows what that is, what that looks like. He's a heck of an athlete. He's in fantastic shape. He's a strong guy. How are his hands? He was a great athlete in high school.
No,
right?
for sure.
Good baseball. Hadn't played baseball in 10 years, man. And he still went to the minor leagues and hit a little bit. He obviously didn't succeed greatly, but he hung around. I mean, he didn't look foolish. So I don't know if he can play the tight end spot, but I will say this. This is what a lot of teams wanted him to do coming out of school anyway. Yeah. They wanted him to make that move. Are you willing to do it? And he wasn't willing to do it. He wanted that quarterback spot. He wanted the dream of playing quarterback. I think he also wanted a little bit the platform of the quarterback to do good with his brand and everything else. But now you got one last shot. You're 33 years old. Hey, let's give it a run. I give Tebow a lot of credit for the baseball stuff. I've always said this because you're putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself out there to fail. Most likely you're going to fail. Oh, here he goes again. Not afraid to kind of put himself out there to maybe the percentages are fail. So I always give him credit for at least that. And he's got, one more go-around, right? You're 33 years old. How often could you even try to do this? You got a great situation in Jacksonville. Urban Meyer, he knows who you are. He might give you a chance, might give you a look. And they have a lack of depth at the tight end room anyway. So it's fascinating, to say the least.
I'll say it one more time. If Tim Tebow goes out there, he earns a tight end spot, then good on him. He makes the team. I have no problem with that. Even if it brings, a circus, even if it brings optics and all this stuff, fine. Let the national heads turn their attention to Jacksonville because of Tim Tebow. But I can't state this enough. If I see Trevor Lawrence coming off the field so Tim Tebow can go in, that I will not co-sign on. But everything else, if you want to play tight end, fantastic. But I want to see Trevor Lawrence out there for 100% of the snaps his rookie year.
All right. Hey, let's take a break early today, Kuz, if we can, here at TIAA Bank. We're going to be in and out all day. I got some TV stuff. We got a lot going on here. And so we are live, field level, basically, right here, south end zone. Tim Tebow touchdown. Trevor Lawrence to Tebow, right here behind us.
It'd be crazy to think about.
That would be crazy.
Better not be the other way around. Better not be Tim Tebow out of the backfield of a Wildcat formation, throwing it to Trevor Lawrence in the slot or something.
A TT special.
Let's keep it.
That's a TT special.
Let's keep it within
Trevor
reason.
To Tebow. A Tebow to Trevor.
Let's keep it within reason. Someone's getting some good. Who's running the stadiums right now over there? Someone's getting some conditioning in.
Oh yeah, got to get it in.
Can we report that? No,
not me.
All right. Someone is.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. It's draft day, folks. Have some fun with us right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Very warm today into partly sunny skies. Temperatures reaching the upper 80s this afternoon. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Here's Ben and John Lupo, owners of Beard's Diamonds.
It's funny, my dad has sold people engagement rings, and now I'm selling their kids engagement rings and anniversary gifts and birthday gifts now for their children and grandkids. So it's pretty cool to see that family tree grow.
We're blessed with the relationships we've built over the years. Our non-commissioned sales associates are experts. They have only one goal: your complete satisfaction.
We have a 6,000 square foot showroom with anything and everything that you can want. Beard's Diamonds has been family owned and locally operated since 1981.
40 years later, it's still our goal to offer the largest selection of quality diamond jewelry at the best prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed. The reason we can make that promise? As Beard's owners, we are on the floor helping you with your purchase. We have no corporate bosses setting the price. The chain stores can't touch our prices. They just can't.
Check out our full inventory at beardsdiamonds.com. Come in and see us. We'd love to help you. Anybody that steps foot in our stores is automatically a part of the Beards family.
Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now: Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week. There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Are you interested in going into business for yourself? Do you know how to write a business plan? What is the best use of social media? What type of loans and other financing is available to a small business? These are among the many topics that SCORE addresses through the workshops and webinars we conduct all year long. Our presenters are subject matter experts and offer great insights that can make a difference to starting or run business. Go to jacksonville.score.org and click on the Take a Workshop tab to see which one is of interest to you and sign up today.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? So that I can go back to church.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
I'm not the guy that likes to, be over dramatic.
Austin Lane.
Well, you're almost in tears yesterday.
I was.
So.
Well, that was a little different.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I mean, I'm super energized. I mean, I'm pumped. And, it's that feeling. It's absolutely wonderful to be alive. And, you feel, wow, for Jacksonville, for the Jaguars, I'm really hopeful, optimistic. I think that, we're headed in the right direction that's going to give us winning on a sustainable way.
That is Jaguars owner Shad Khan getting ready for the most important draft of his tenure. You can, listen, we're recency bias, we can hyperbole, we can be dramatic. I've been here for 13 years. This is the biggest draft.
Yeah.
I understand. I mean, the organization was born in 93, 95, you're drafted. I mean, you got Tony Baselli. I mean, that's a big deal, right? I mean, there have been other big moments, no doubt. But this is a big moment. And for Shad Khan, this is a really, really big moment for him. As I talked to him last night, sat down with him for about a half hour and talked a bit about Urban Meyer. We'll have more of that stuff probably after the draft. But obviously the excitement is there. The secrecy of the Trevor stuff still exists. It's not like, hey, Brent, we're taking Trevor.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know, man. They obviously, and it came out today that the NFL has been really pushing teams to not tip their hand. They want the drama. You know, there is a little bit of a reality show world we live in, and they want that part of the reality show. Here's what was interesting about Shad Khan. Maybe we get into a little bit more later on, or you'll hear the sound. But he said, hey, the group think essentially of what everybody thinks we're going to do in the draft. He wasn't talking specifically about number one.
Sure.
Might surprise people. There's a certain player. There's a certain psyche. There's a certain this and that we're looking for, and we have a plan to target a certain kind of player.
Okay.
Didn't elaborate much on that. And we all don't think that's number one, right? I mean, because if you want the psyche, the certain kind of player, Trevor Lawrence is the kind of guy you build every team around.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but it was interesting.
Well, one could argue that they kind of did that last year as well. With C.J. Henderson, Caleb Chase on, and they kind of, drafted a group of guys that all kind of fit the same mold of being, I think, coach-friendly per se. Now you have a new regime, obviously. Yeah, it's an interesting comment. Obviously, talking about number one, there will be no surprises there. But I wonder, at the 25th pick, if he's referring to maybe a defensive lineman, or maybe a safety that, I don't know, I feel like we were talking about it a lot. I'm not sure how the national media has been receiving it. I feel like it's 50-50 where get Trevor Lawrence an offensive weapon or get the Jaguars a defensive lineman, but maybe he's referring to that as well.
Yeah, I had a hard time. I thought it was very interesting, right? Because right away I said, hey, wait a minute now, Shad. That doesn't mean you're thinking twice about Trevor, right? Listen, Trevor Lawrence is coming to Jacksonville. I got to be honest with you. Austin, I thought about this a little bit more because people have asked me. And I said, what if they don't take him? So I don't want to think about it. I haven't even asked the what if. So much so that we're doing 3 hours of live television tonight straight through. We're doing a bunch more television than that I don't have a backup plan. Okay?
You shouldn't have to.
I don't have a backup plan. If Zach Wilson were to be the Jags pick, we would have to go hurrying for some video, all right, and some graphics that we made. We have a lot of things invested into Trevor Lawrence because that's who the pick is going to be, okay? We know that.
Sure.
And I think everybody knows that. So that's not the surprise. But I was interested to see, and I'm interested to see the draft play out now because I want to try to connect the dots on what Shad might have meant there. Because, first of all, mock drafts are all over the place. Did he see a mock draft and be like, you guys don't know what you're doing. That's not where we're going. Did he see Trevon Merrick? Everybody saying Merrick, and say, that's not the kind of player we're looking at for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, he seems like a very good player, and I can't find many red flags.
Maybe it's a different safety.
You know? So, I don't know. Is it the case that the value of players on all these mock drafts where everybody, because, again, groupthink starts to put them all in the same area? Even when I do the KJZ mock draft, I'm like, well, I can't really say I want Richie Grant to be the safety of choice. Everybody says Merrick's better than him. I can't be that much of an outlier. But maybe to your point, like the Jags say, hey, we do rate him higher. We think he can be better. Is it that? Is that what's going to surprise us? I don't know what he meant by that, but I found it very interesting. Of the 25, 30 minutes I sat down with him, it made me think the most last night and this morning, what did he mean by that?
So, I mean, listen, we can sit here and try to put our tinfoil hats on and figure it out. If we're talking about the defensive side of the ball and knowing Joe Cullen, and remember when he was slamming on the table for J.J. Watt to come to Jacksonville, and that was the unequivocally pick that he wanted, I think, out of any defensive lineman. I mean, I think he's alluding to the fact that whether it's the coordinators, whether it's the position coaches, obviously people that Urban Meyer's trust, they have their guys, right? And it may not be the Mel Kiper guys, it may not be the Todd McShay guys, it may not be our guys, because they look at through the scouting lens and the evaluation lens maybe a little different than I do, than you do, than anybody else does. So maybe that's what that means. Maybe there's a safety out there whether he's from Oregon, whether it's Richie Grant. Maybe there's a safety out there that they have above, Merrick. Maybe there's a defensive lineman out there that they have above Barmore. That could be what he's alluding to.
Well, I'm going to give you one other thing that I thought would maybe come under this category. And someone just said, hey, Tebow, that's the surprise. I don't think that's what he's talking about here, okay? I think the Tebow thing is still not a foregone conclusion. It's not done. It's not necessarily going to happen. It's there, but I don't think that's what he was referencing. I think there's a possibility that maybe they don't think they're as desperate. Let me throw this out there. As desperate for a tight end as everybody else does. So they don't have to go reach for a tight end and go get Freiermuth and go get Brevin Jordan, because they're going to go stack up another wide receiver and run those kind of sets instead of the tight end sets and live with what they got, because they're not going to go reach for need over value. Could that be – but could we come out of the next 2 days and they don't have a tight end yet? That would be a surprise.
Yeah, that would be a very big surprise, especially after Urban Meyer said that's the one position they have to address big time, So – I think Urban Meyer's been extremely candid. I think he's been kind of an open book and, gave us a peek behind the curtain a little bit. If Urban Meyer says the tight end position needs to be addressed, and so far all you've done is trade Josh Oliver away and bring in a guy from Carolina who's a better run blocker than he is receiver, I think there's more to come for the Jacksonville Jaguars at the tight end position.
Hey, read what you have for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers disgruntled? Is that the report from Schefter?
So this is breaking news out of, from Adam Schefter 9 minutes ago now. Reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers is so disgruntled with the Green Bay Packers that he has told someone within the organization that he does not want to return to the team. League and team sources told ESPN on Thursday. More on NFL Live now. Or don't turn to NFL Live. We're talking about it. Sorry, man. Hey, if I'm going to cite a source and use like a bibliography, I'm going to use the whole thing.
It's all
like
the family.
He's like Anchorman. He's just going to read the whole thing regardless.
Exactly. It's not my fault. If it's there, I'm going to read it.
Hey, it's all in the family. It's ESPN. It's okay.
Yeah, man.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Now, you won't see us there.
Yeah, we're all cut from the same cloth. We're good.
But if you want the latest, go get from Schefter on NFL Live.
Sure.
Come back.
Yeah.
Wow, listen to that. I mean, the sound system here is, you can hear it.
Well, it's the fact that we're literally right next to it.
We are.
Yep.
There's no way about it, by the way. I do these pregame shows all the time, and it's just like unavoidable. They put them in these spots, and it's really a hard way to get away from it. But this one is kind of right next to us as they test some of the video boards. The graphics package looks good. Things look good here at TIAA Bank as they get ready for this night. So anyway, Aaron Rodgers, what he just said. Why do I start to get the feel? Well, tell me if I'm right or wrong. My initial reaction is now I'm starting to get the feel like this is the kid in class that 4 people before him went to the bathroom, and so he raises his hand too and say, "Teacher, I got to go to the bathroom."
Sure.
Yeah. Or you went to the pantry and got a piece of candy, so your sister wants a piece of candy now too, even though she wasn't even hungry.
Okay.
Okay. My reference point is, well, all these other quarterbacks were making waves, and Russell Wilson had this thing going on for a while, got dramatic. It aired everybody talking about Russell Wilson, whether it was his doing or not. Aaron Rodgers now said, what about me? Let's throw this out there. Let's see what happens if I say I don't want to be back in Green Bay. This is odd timing, though, isn't it?
I mean, maybe it's odd timing, but it depends how long they've known about this. Once again, I mean, it could be the Tim Tebow thing where people have known about it for a while, but it finally comes out in the media today. I don't know. I think that if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're 37 years old and you gave your heart and soul to that team, I think you're above, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think you're above just making up stuff to say, hey, let's go ahead and get him talking about me a little bit. The guy just hosted Jeopardy. He doesn't need any more cachet. He doesn't need any more clout. I think there's legs to this. I honestly do. Even the fact that the GM had to come out and say that Aaron Rodgers is our guy when nobody really asked, that was a little peculiar when you just drafted Jordan Love. We get Aaron Rodgers as the guy. No kidding. He's the reigning MVP. But why did you say that? So when the GM comes out and says something like that, and now when this comes out, maybe it is trouble in paradise a little bit. Maybe Aaron Rodgers isn't happy Maybe the Jordan Love thing rubbed them the wrong way. Maybe not, addressing a skill position in the first round since Aaron Rodgers is rubbing them the wrong way. Maybe it's a combination of those things. Or maybe it just feels disrespected. Whatever the case may be, I think there is some legs to this. Now, whether or not he leaves Green Bay, I don't know about that. But I think he might be a little disgruntled.
I think, quarterbacks have so much power and sway right now that it almost concerns – well, listen, I'll take the franchise quarterback. But it does – how much of a jockeying and wrestling back and forth over the years will the Jaguars have with Trevor Lawrence, with rumors, whether it's him or not, whether it's rumors or people saying, well, he's going to want out of Jacksonville now. He's not going to sign that next $500 million deal in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. He's going to look to go elsewhere. Get used to that, okay? Just get used to that, Jags fans, because even if this guy is great – even the great quarterbacks have been rumored for now the last 3 or 4 years to go somewhere else. Tom Brady was, even before that contract was done. There was talk of turmoil, right, for a couple of years in New England, inside the building. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers has had this. Deshaun Watson before all the other stuff. And by the way, that story is quieted in terms of the trade, right? I mean, that's nothing football related. Dak Prescott. I mean, we're talking about these big names. And Stafford, by the way, has been on the move now. Mm-hmm. And Goff was on the move. And Carson Wentz is on the move. It's really pretty wild. It's like as the quarterback world turns a little bit, and how long can you keep the quarterback happy where he's at?
No, I mean, that's, you make super valid points here. To me, this is different, though, because once again, this is the reigning MVP. And we've seen this a lot. We've seen quarterbacks ask out. We've seen players ask out. We lived through it ourselves with Yannick Ngakoue and Jaylen Ramsey. The difference between them and the Green Bay Packers, though, is, well, let's be honest here. The Jaguars at the time were not doing that well. Jaylen wanted out. Yannick Ngakoue wanted out. They weren't winning. A lot of losing. You can kind of see that a little bit. The Green Bay Packers are coming off back-to-back NFC Championship games, one game away from the Super Bowl. So I find it very hard to believe that this is all just like an attention grab from Aaron Rodgers saying, yeah, let's go ahead and put my name out in the airwaves a little bit. Because, no, I truly feel that if you want to be on that team, then something must be up. And I think if we look back on it, like what do we have to go off of? Once again, I mentioned the draft and not taking a skill position in the first round since they drafted Aaron Rodgers. Obviously the Jordan Love situation. But what is our last lingering moment from the last Packers snap on offense until now? It's the NFC Championship game, and the head coach, Matt LaFleur, opting to kick a field goal instead of putting the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands to try to win the game. I think that rubbed Aaron Rodgers the wrong way a little bit too, and maybe they haven't, compromised, they haven't reconciled since that situation.
Aaron Rodgers is a fun guy, but is he a bit of a diva? I mean, could this be his personality? Like Russell Wilson, that whole thing was a bit surprising to me.
Yeah.
Seemed like he was a lifer in Seattle.
Sure.
Deshaun Watson, the place is a mess, okay? I can tell. That's a little bit more Yannick and Jalen-esque, right? Rodgers being in this kind of conversation feels a little bit like that's some of his personality somewhere in there, too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Is he a diva? You can definitely say that. Just like I can say Peyton Manning was a giant diva when it came to, how he handled practice and things like that. But you've earned that right.
Yeah, yeah.
You've won a couple MVPs. You have a Lombardi trophy. I think once you get to that stature, and, like Russell Wilson's kind of up there too a little bit, but with all due respect to Russell Wilson, he's not an Aaron Rodgers level quite yet. So you can call him diva, you can call him maybe he's being a jerk, whatever you want to say. Aaron Rodgers has earned that right. And if you lose him, if you're Matt LaFleur in that organization, you lose him, hopefully Jordan Love can take over. We'll see.
It is wild, man. You said it. MVP, back-to-back games away from the Super Bowl, and you're still not happy? Like, again, there are reasons. The Jordan Love stuff, but that seemed in the rear view.
Sure.
Go get him weapons. That's fine. They re-sign Aaron Jones,
I think it's the play call. I really do. I think it's Matt LaFleur opting to kick that field goal and not putting the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. I mean, that's the narrative. If you go back to Green Bay right now, that's what they're still talking about. There's talked about in Jeopardy for a couple times of people writing their answers in, hey, why'd you kick a field goal? And Aaron Rodgers goes, I don't know. That's all around him. And I think that's circumstance right there, maybe on top of other things that we haven't really seen. But I think that circumstance brought it to a boiling point, and now we're here.
Very, very interesting. Oh, it's nice when the sun goes down.
You're not. I mean, it's prime right now.
Listen,
this
man,
is fantastic.
it's a little warm, but I put us right here because you can feel a little bit of the breeze coming through the tunnel.
Yeah.
You'll feel it once in a while. Don't
No,
worry,
for sure,
Austin
for sure.
Lane. Brett Martin, Austin Lane, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Thanks to everybody here at the Jaguars organization for letting us come out do our radio show here. We got TV all over the place. I'm going to go do a TV hit on Fox 30 at 4 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock, and then at 6 o'clock, and then, 7 to 10 we're on at Fox 30 all the way through. So you got to remember that. I want you to know that because I think we're going to have some fun tonight. We've got Urban Meyer coming on live. We'll hear from Trevor Lawrence coming on. We'll hear from DJ Chark and Josh Allen. But it's different. You can watch the draft on NFL Network, and the selection's made, and then they're going to go talk about every other team. Come on over to Fox 30 in that 8 to 9 o'clock hour, and we're talking all Trevor Lawrence, Jags, what else they're going to do. Austin Lane doing a little TV as well. David Garrard on Trevor Lawrence, so we're pretty stacked up, plus my sit-down conversation with Shad Khan and some of our travels to Cartersville, Georgia, and elsewhere. But it's a good setup here at the stadium. I'm interested to see what this feels like. They've got everything boxed off for social distancing.
Yep.
See, the NFL, even though the CDC has kind of removed some of its rules and regulations, the NFL is still masks, social distancing. And so that's why you see this setup the way it is. They actually increased some of the setup, moved the staging back to allow more fans. There will be 7,000 plus fans here tonight to celebrate. It's sold out. So it's fun, but I'm kind of interested to see what the 7,000 spread out looks like, feels like, because you know this place is going to erupt. That's the moment, right around 8:10, when this place goes nuts over Trevor Lawrence being the number one pick. And by the way, it's going to go nuts when they're on the clock.
Without a
and
doubt.
again, we'll be on live on TV. I can't wait for that. That's going to be a lot of fun because you just can feel the energy for 10 minutes around here.
Yeah, like I've been saying, I understand it's not going to be a full capacity, and that's okay, but just to get whatever you said, 6,000, 7,000 of those passionate Jaguars fans in here to welcome, Trevor Lawrence with open arms, I bet it's going to feel like a full stadium. It's going to sound like a full stadium when he gets announced with that first pick.
How much do you think they could have sold if it was fully open? I don't want to over dramatize. They wouldn't have sold the place. How? I mean, that's 65,000. Now you probably would have shut off the back anyway. But let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, would they have put 20,000 in here? 25,000 in here?
I think 20 to 25,000 would be very realistic. Absolutely. Because once again, this is, to me, it's like the experience. It's almost like the UFC fight where, was everybody in attendance at that UFC fight fans? Probably not, but they wanted to go for the experience, right? It's because the fighting's back and it's in front of a live crowd. With this situation, we're talking about an absolute, culture shift possibly, going to the glory days, if you will, with Trevor Lawrence, and people want to be a part of that. People want to say, hey, I was there, I was in that stadium when his name was announced, and now watch what he's doing on the field. So I think 20 to 25,000 would get sold out.
Yeah, I said that too on TV. I think it's like, maybe it was this morning. Gosh, I've done so much TV in the last 24 hours.
It just kind of blends together, doesn't it?
But I did say that because I think it's worth repeating, especially to a casual fan. Not a lot of folks that listen to us, they know what's going on because they're so locked into it. But to a casual fan, you're like, why is this such a big deal again? Why are you guys going crazy over this? Why is this day this big? Well, it's two reasons. One, you have the number one pick for the first time in franchise history. But two, there's the player there when you have the number one pick to go get and maybe change your franchise. Yeah. There's that kind of player. For Indianapolis, it was Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. They got it twice, man. Yeah. They got it twice. What's the likelihood of that? Not very good. Jacksonville finally, a quarter a century later, finally has that opportunity, which makes 1-15 feel actually okay for a couple of months.
No, for sure. It's almost like you're okay with it until we see the field again, and then we'll see what happens.
But that's why it's such a big moment. It's the combination of both. Hey, let's take a break since they're doing a sound check. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Jam away in your car. Keep it locked right here. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Turn it down, please. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sportscenter Update.
Happy Thursday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Tonight is the biggest night in the NFL. Teams will rise and fall by the decisions that they make tonight at the NFL Draft. Our Jacksonville Jaguars have the first overall pick, and most people believe that they will use it to draft Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. is former Jag Maurice Jones-Drew, who has a time frame that he believes it will take for the Jags to turn around.
As a Jaguars fan, you can't expect it to turn around like tomorrow. You have to give them at least 3 years to build this roster back up. They have a ton of draft capital. They have a lot of money. And so it's all about hiring guys that are bringing in guys that are willing to compete and really buying in your philosophy.
And elsewhere in the NFL, the Denver Broncos have traded to try to improve their quarterback situation. They gave Carolina Panthers a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. Not only that, but the Panthers will pick up some of Teddy Ballgame's contract as well. The Sportscenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BEACH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text BEACH to 321-321 right now. Text BEACH to 321-321. Text BEACH to 321-321.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers. They take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Cohane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. CohanesIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Cohane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
Vacations are coming back, so before you hit the road, get your vehicle checked out by the pros at Honda of the Avenues. Honda of the Avenues Service Department continues to get 5 stars for their certified technicians using certified parts. The new Express Service Center is now open, so stop by if you need an oil change, tires, battery, wiper blades, or if you need any repairs to your vehicle. Awarded the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award. Honda of the Avenues. Easy to find on Phillips Highway south of 295 or at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
When it
comes to starting your morning off right, Wendy's is always the best choice. And now that our sweet and savory honey butter chicken biscuit is only $1.99, you have no excuse to get your breakfast anywhere else. It's freshly prepared with sweet honey butter and all-white meat chicken on a flaky biscuit. It's never been easier to steer clear of bad breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's and get the breakfast you deserve. The $1.99 honey butter chicken biscuit.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. A la carte only, not valid in a combo.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
I think we'll have an opportunity really to have a player that will help us, win. And if you win, then, a lot of good happens. You can say, for the franchise, but really, I mean, the Jaguars are the psyche of Jacksonville. I think if we win, I think it's going to be good for the city. Football is huge here, so I think absolutely I feel that way. Not only who, would be joining us on the football side, but really the leadership of the team. And, with Urban and then the staff he hired and, the process we've gone through, first putting his staff together, I saw him in action, then the free agency, and now getting ready for the draft. I mean, it's very, very different than what, certainly I've been part of.
That is Shad Khan. So what's it been like since he's been part of it? 9 years of doing this as an owner of the Jaguars. They've made mistakes. He's learned about those mistakes. Has he learned the right way? Is he now making the right decisions? He's certainly more involved. My conversation with Shad Khan yesterday, that is one thing he said multiple times when I asked him about being more involved. What does that mean? He said, well, it means I'm going to get blamed for it anyway, so I might as well be a part of it, And I think he really references, he went hands off when Tom Coughlin was here because he said, listen, Tom might be a Hall of Famer. I think he is a Hall of Famer. And I'm going to let this guy who's been around football run football. Mm-hmm. Well, the big mistake there with Tom at the end of the day, in hindsight especially, was that it was kind of a going backwards way of doing things. Tom is an old school guy. What he's done now with Urban and the sports science stuff and the facility stuff and all of it is kind of move into the future. And I think that's what that's my best explanation of, say, from 2019 to now here in 2021, what's the big differentiator? I think that's from a philosophical standpoint. Now, how good can Urban Meyer be? We'll find out. But he feels like he's got the right guy now. And he said in my conversation, listen, Doug Marrone tried. Gus Bradley tried. Dave Caldwell tried. They made a lot of efforts and did some good things. But it didn't work out sustainable success. And he really feels like he's got that with Urban Meyer.
Yeah, and it's funny that we bring up Tom Coughlin because I see a lot of similarities between Tom Coughlin and Urban Meyer. And that biggest similarity is going to be how training camp is handled.
Yeah.
I think Urban Meyer is going to run maybe the toughest training camp we've seen here in a long time. Maybe since the likes of a Jack Del Rio Oklahoma drill special back-to-back days. I think Urban Meyer is going to bring that type of intensity and that type of physically demanding practice back to Jacksonville. And obviously Tom Coughlin did that as well for the year, and then we saw what happened after that. But to me, the difference between Urban Meyer and Tom Coughlin, yes, they both preach, I think, hard work, being accountable, all that stuff. But the difference lies in between Urban Meyer being more of the player's coach in that, hey, I want to give my guys the best things. I have to give them the best recovery, all that stuff. I get the sense that Tom Coughlin was more like, yeah, they'll be fine. We had this stuff back in the day, and it worked out well. I won some Super Bowls. It's going to be okay. I think Urban Meyer, and I've said this many times before on this show, he's going to come in with the philosophy as I'm going to give these guys the best possible things that they can have, whether it's recovery, whether it's food, whether it's a locker room setting, you name it, it's going to be state-of-the-art, the best in the NFL. But when you do that, just like in college programs, a price must be paid. And a price will be paid, I think, on that practice field of being a very hard and physically demanding training camp.
Yeah, and if you build that way, that you do so much for the players, then maybe Aaron Rodgers that the Sean Watson kind of situation doesn't present itself where I might want out of here. Instead, you can do all you can to keep the guys homegrown that you've developed and that are core players, something this organization over the last few years could not do. More on Aaron Rodgers in a moment. Maurice Jones-Drew just said something that got us going. Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick, courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meetthepick to register, and you can do that through tonight still. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meetthepick. Again, you can still register today, not like going to meet the pick tonight, but enter to win. TIAABank.com/meetthepick. All right, I got to go run and do TV, but I'm going to leave you with this, and I want you to take this away. Maurice Jones-Drew says, the first overall pick in 25 to the Green Bay Packers for Aaron Rodgers.
Why do you got to say that and you walk off the show? Okay.
I don't even want – I want you to think of it from a couple of different ways.
I would think of it as one way. Absolutely not.
I would too, right?
Okay.
But that's an interesting thing to say about maybe the best quarterback in the game right now, okay?
I'm sorry. Did you say the GOAT? I thought Tom Brady was happy in Tampa. Are you talking about Aaron Rodgers or are we talking about Aaron Rodgers?
Maybe the best quarterback
well,
in the game.
Did Maurice Jones-Drew say the GOAT?
He said the second GOAT.
Oh, the second
That's
GOAT.
what he
Okay,
said.
I got you.
But I'll say this. I asked you that because Maurice Jones-Drew said it in a Jacksonville way. It's funny. I say I don't want that. I want the unknown of Trevor Lawrence for some reason. And obviously, you got a guy who's young, and it's a cheaper contract and all those things. So there's a lot of different ways. Much like we talked about Deshaun Watson. Not like you don't want the player, but you want this situation, I feel like, instead. So I'd say no thanks, too.
Yeah.
But there's some talk now that some reports coming out, the Rams, who just traded for Stafford, and even San Francisco, who now has the number 3 pick, have made calls to Green Bay. San Francisco could be an interesting one here. Of course, we'd be back home. Take it away. I'll be back with you in a few minutes after some TV.
All right. Obviously, right now, we're on the precipice of the NFL draft, right? And when we talk about a couple hours leading up to it, all chaos ensues. Sometimes you got players out there that are draft eligible, taking pictures with, drug paraphernalia like we saw a couple years ago with Laramie Tunsil. Sometimes you got rumors out there saying this guy got in trouble and the draft stock closes. This year we're talking about Aaron Rodgers not happy in Green Bay, which is it's absolutely insane to me. Now, once again, I think there's legs to this. But you got to be out of your mind. Absolutely out of your mind. If you think Green Bay is going to trade away Aaron Rodgers. Now, is Aaron Rodgers not happy there? Probably. Are him and Matt LaFleur clashing? Probably. Okay? Is he happy with the front office and management? Probably not. Okay? So there's definitely some red flags. There's definitely some rumblings there taking part in Green Bay. But there's no way you trade that dude away. Because, number one, I just think of the optics of my family, my friends back in Green Bay of what they would do. You want to talk about, cars getting – and Green Bay is like the nicest town in NFL fandom. If you go to a Green Bay Packers tailgate, you're going to get a brat, you're going to get a beer. Like, they embrace you there. But there's also a mean streak. And you want to bring out that mean streak, trade Aaron Rodgers away and see what happens. So, in my opinion, there's no way Aaron Rodgers gets traded, at least right now. Now, we know how the story is going to play out a little bit, right? We're going to see, back and forth. Packers say, we love Aaron Rodgers, he's not going anywhere. Aaron Rodgers saying, maybe I want to leave. And then all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers' agent's going to say, well, if he was to leave, maybe he would go to Los Angeles, play for the Rams. Maybe he would go here, there. Like, this is all going to come out. And it's going to be polarizing because I look and saw what happened with Russell Wilson, and that was one thing, right? Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, don't get me wrong, Super Bowl champion, all that stuff. But Aaron Rodgers, as Maurice Jones-Drew referred to him as the second GOAT, which, okay, let's give him that nickname. I like that moniker. Go ahead and amplify the Russell Wilson stuff times 10, times 15. That's where we're going to be at right now. After this draft, let's not get it twisted, everybody. I understand we're still a couple hours away, but it's the Trevor Lawrence show tonight, right? It's the NFL draft tonight, and tomorrow as well, and out through Saturday. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, when the smoke settles and the dust clears, this Aaron Rodgers story is just getting started, and I'm very curious to see what the sides are going to do here. You can't let him go. I don't care if he badmouths the organization. I don't care if he pulls a Jaylen Ramsey and says that his back's messed up and he's got to sit out for training camp. there's just some guys that are just, they're franchise, right? Like Jaylen Ramsey, was he a great player? Absolutely. All pro, you better believe it. Maybe even if it's the franchise. But he wasn't like Aaron Rodgers as the Green Bay. There's very few players out there like that. And you would be out of your mind. I don't care what the offer is. You'd be out of your mind to trade that away. More on ESPN 690 when we get back.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I would like to hug my grandchildren.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com.
1430-261-1250-697. There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jules in St. Augustine at Murabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jules app and catering for all of your events. Visit WillieJules.com and visit Willie Jules at Murabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jules. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit FieldsAuto.com.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course, we can help you find some fuel treatment. Right now, we have buy one, get one free on STP Super Concentrated Fuel Injector Cleaner. Plus, AutoZone Rewards members get a $1 bonus reward. Not a member? Don't worry. Joining is easy. And you can even earn an extra $5 bonus reward when you join with a valid email. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Mike Greenberg. Greeny.
The biggest difference between the athletes of today and the athlete of Shaquille O'Neal's generation is Twitter. And with Twitter in particular, social media in general, but with Twitter in particular, the generation of athletes who grew up in that consider it to be important enough that they do not ignore it. They hear it, they live it, they respond to it, they internalize it. It matters to them.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
To me, this, you have to win. And I think our team, our young players, our coaches, Doug and his staff, they did everything to win. So that thing changing, we knew we were going to pick high. Realistically, I never thought till that happened. But before that, obviously, the Oakland game for the Jets. But for us, it was it was like, okay, But I thought, we could win even then. I mean, there were like, I think 2-3 games to go at that point, So, you have to choose wisely. And we've never had the first pick, but there are plenty of teams that have had the first pick. And, it works out sometimes. A lot of times it doesn't.
Jaguars owner Shad Khan sat down with Brent Martineau yesterday. I think that full interview, if it's not already, will be on our YouTube page, Action Sports Jack, so check that out. Great interview. Brent did a great job with that. And we are joined live now. I mean, we're at TIAA Bank Field right now, man. And it's a trip because I haven't been here in like a year and a half, it seems like. And Brent's off doing some more TV stuff. I'm sure he's talking to somebody right now, so I'm just holding down the fort over here. But I will say this. I'm reminded of, this would have been not last year, obviously, because with COVID and everything, but 2 years ago when we were out here, and it was on the eve of, of Josh Allen coming to town. And, I can't, it's hard to really remember, like, where the hype was and all that stuff. But I will say this, being in the stadium right now, in terms of all the cameras and all the media here, I mean, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 6 or 7 live shots going on right now from different types of networks. Now, I have no idea who these people are. They all kind of have like their own booth or whatever like that. Brent would do a much better job of explaining that because I can't recognize anybody. I'm just not in that game like he is. But it's amazing to see once again just this kind of seems to be the place to be. And it's crazy because we're coming off of a weekend with the UFC where – it was the hub of professional sports. Like, celebrities were here. Tom Brady was in town. Blaine Gabbert, if you count him as a celebrity, because I'm not happy with him right now because he didn't give me a call and say, what's up, I'm in town. But it is what it is. He's been ignoring my text messages. But, like, the who's who was here in Jacksonville for the UFC card. And now fast forward a little bit to draft night, and it seems like, I mean, I don't know if it's the who's who in terms of, national media. But national media is out here in full effect, and it goes to show you just the power of that quarterback position. The hype of Trevor Lawrence, it's real. And I look no farther than just seeing everyone that's here right now covering them, rocking their collared shirts and their pants because they're trying to be professional, not realizing you're in the Jacksonville heat right now, and I'm sure you're sweating up a storm, even though they have shade. And I'm sitting out here in the hot sun because I guess we couldn't afford an awning, and they put us out here right next to a speaker. But it's all good, though, everybody, because I'm rocking my jean shorts. No, not for Gardner Minshew, because I've rocked jean shorts long before Gardner Minshew came around. And I'm rocking my Casey Musgraves T-shirt, which is white. So that helps deflect the sun, if you will. But Action Sports Jack's here, Austin Lane, waiting on Brent Martineau to come back. Saw a coach running some stadiums, wasn't Urban Meyer. Didn't know who that guy was. Thought about interviewing him a little bit. But it's exciting, man. In a couple hours here, the atmosphere is about to change. And this whole city is about to change. I've said this in the past. Obviously I've covered a few drafts now. I've watched a couple. I took part in one, obviously, back in 2010. But I can't remember a time like today, leading up to tonight, where just the excitement, the enthusiasm, the intrigue is at an all-time high. And usually, being a former player, I would be the guy that's, all right, everybody, hey, let's go ahead and temper expectations a little bit, right? Like, let's let Trevor get accustomed here. All right, there's a big transition. I don't care where you play or the position that you play. Usually going from the college game to the pro level, it's going to take some time. So let's not put Trevor Lawrence on too big of a pedestal right away. And usually I would say that, being a former player and being a realist. But at the same time, I just want to say, hey, go wild, Jaguars fans. Put him on the pedestal day one. When you see him get that phone call, and you see him hug his newly minted wife and his family and all that, and his brothers in the background, hopefully rocking a cool tie-dye shirt. Go wild with it, man. Have the expectations. Shoot for the stars if you want to, because I think this city has earned that right. You have 2017, which is kind of an unexpected thing. It's probably the best moments that you can think of on this franchise in the past decade. But you have 2017, and things just clicked, and everything went right. And you're, a couple plays away from going to the Super Bowl. And then 2018, you think, all right, well, the story continues. The ship keeps riding, because that's how the NFL works, right? And I think in 2018, the Jaguars, they were the sexy pick. Like, every NFL analyst, I'm sure everybody in the local media saying, all right, they're going to get back there. And then what happens? They play the New England Patriots here, curb stomp them, and it's like, yeah, all right, we better reserve our tickets in Atlanta now for the Super Bowl, because Jacksonville's going. And then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off. It was a downward spiral, and it snowballed to mediocrity, and then worse than mediocrity. So I say, if you're a Jaguars fan, if you're a Trevor Lawrence guy, go crazy with expectations. Say they're going to win 7-8 games next year. Am I going to say that? I don't know, man. Let me go and evaluate this roster. Let's see how this draft goes a little bit. But you might as well. Because the thing about the NFL that sometimes we lose thought of is that we see the New England Patriots, and we probably know deep down in our heart that will never be done again. I don't care what era, I mean, coming up, I don't care what kind of talent you have. I have a hard time seeing a team replicate the New England Patriots. So they're the outlier. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be good for years and years to come, obviously, pending everybody can stay healthy. Tampa Bay, they might have a couple more years left in them. Antonio Brown, by the way, re-signs with the Buccaneers again, so essentially that entire team is coming back for another run at the Super Bowl. But the game of the NFL, you learn this. There's ups and downs, there's peaks and valleys, and that's the way it's set up. You're supposed to have some up years. You're going to have some down years. But it's supposed to be consistent. Like when you're down, all right, you're going to be down. When you're up, yeah, you're probably going to be up for a little bit, and then you go back down again. Like that's how the salary cap works. That's how draft positioning works. That's how all that stuff comes into play. When they were designing the salary cap and the draft positions and all that, like they had this in mind. The thing about Jacksonville, though, and we can throw Cleveland in the category because it was like this in Cleveland for a while, until recently, but it was losing after losing after losing. And no matter who you drafted, no matter the changes that you made in the front office, it just seemed like it was losing. And then when you had that glimmer of hope, when you had that 1 year back in 2017, 2017, when you had that year, you thought, okay, well, this is it. This is standard. All right, now we're on top. Let's ride this wave for a while. And what happened? You fell off right away. It was good for 1 year and 1 year only. That's not how it's supposed to be in the NFL, okay? If you watch the Cleveland Browns right now, they're having sustained success. Behind a quarterback in Baker Mayfield that I'm not ready to call even a top 8, maybe even a top 10 guy. But they're having sustained success, right? There's the ebbs and flows. With Jacksonville, it was one great year, and then it came crashing to a halt. And it's back in the doldrums, and it's back at sea level, if you will. This is why you should get excited. This is why you have a right to expect high things from Trevor Lawrence day one. You don't have to temper any kind of expectations because you've earned that right. Because this is the NFL. Eventually, you would think it's going to self-correct and turn itself around. Hopefully, Trevor Lawrence can be that cog that allows that machine to turn around and say, all right, Jacksonville, let's have sustained success.
I'm back.
What up, man?
How we doing?
Good.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sustain. That's a big word. You just brought up a great – it's like you were in my interview with Shad Khan last night.
I might have been in the background a little bit, man. I might have eavesdropped a little bit and said what's up.
It really is. I think that's the root of this kind of optimism.
Mm-hmm.
Sustainable success. Listen, the Jaguars built this thing. I'll never forget, okay, and built is a dangerous word in Jacksonville, I understand. But I'll never forget Dave Caldwell said this like in 13 or 14 to me one time. I saw him down in the hallway, and he said, well, we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to go about it a bit different. I didn't really know what the heck that meant. Mm-hmm. What that meant is they were really going to rip it down, and then they were going to gradually try to build it so they could sustain it. Like, that was the goal. What can we do? Not just flash up one year and go 9-7 and maybe make a run and spend all our money early. Like, that was the idea. And by the way, I think the intention potentially was correct there. In fact, Shad Khan said to me yesterday, look at us. In 2018, on this field, beat the New York Jets and the Patriots 3-1 in September. We're the darlings. People think we're going to the Super Bowl. And then, boom.
Yeah.
It all went away. I mean, they thought they were onto something, man.
Sure.
I mean, they really did. They genuinely. Why wouldn't you? You go to the AFC Championship game. You have young talent. Yep. You have a quarterback that was playing pretty good football. You just beat Brady here. You know. I mean, you go for 2 against the Jets and rub it in their nose.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I mean, they have all this stuff going for them, and then bam. And so, I think this is interpretation by me, but I think what Shad Khan figured out was the combination of Coughlin, Caldwell, Marrone couldn't sustain it. You know, at the end of the day, it said that. They couldn't sustain it. Tom Coughlin's ways was going to rub wrong with the players. Marrone couldn't end up getting it done. Some of that maybe because the roster wasn't as good, but couldn't get it done and continually do it, and it ends up 1-15. The feeling that he has this time around, Shad Khan, and I don't know if I yet have that feeling, but of course when you have the quarterback that might be here for a decade, it certainly gives you a little bit of that feeling. Yeah. Is that sustained success where you are a perennial. I say it all the time. I say go to Pittsburgh, and you think – I say the Pittsburgh Steelers like, oh, yeah, Brett, they've won like 2 or 3 Super Bowls in the last decade or so. No, they haven't. They haven't won one. They haven't won one since 2009. But it feels like they have, right? Mm-hmm. They're relevant. They're a very good organization, but they're relevant every year. They're in the mix every year. They're in the conversation every year. They have a chance every year if they play well. Good coach, good quarterback, good identity, all of that. Mm-hmm. Jags don't have that. That's what the Jags are after. And is Urban Meyer the answer? Is Trevor Lawrence the answer? And then you got to do the other things around him. I think that's why Shad Khan and maybe others believe that this is the time. This is the ship that's turning a little bit in a place that really we haven't felt around here in 20 years.
Well, and that's why there is so much optimism, as there should be, because you get the sense that if Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer can't make this thing work, then it may never work. Because the NFL, like I was talking about, I mean, it is designed to have good years and bad years, but they're always sustained. Like, it's not designed for a team to go to an AFC Championship game one year and then the rest of the years have losing records. Like, that's not how the NFL works. Like, that's an outlier. Not just like the Patriots are an outlier. The Jaguars are the outlier in terms of losing. They're almost they're like the anti-Patriots, let's just say. And what a bad narrative that is. But that's why there's the intrigue, I feel like, because – if you follow the game of football, especially in the NFL, and you've seen how season by season has played out, odds are, you know, and say it's the football gods or just analytics or whatever you want to talk about, odds are this thing does get turned around. And now we're talking about, you know, winning seasons. Now we're talking about culture because it has been a long time since you've had that at a sustained success. So it just feels like it's now or nothing. Like, if this doesn't work, then this team might actually be cursed. We might be burning sage all over the stadium and all over this town because I can't think of anything else that could get this team success.
Well, I said that to Shad Khan yesterday, actually, in our interview, and I said, is it – I don't want to say now or never because it's never, but does it feel like it's right now? is more the conversation, to your point, right? I mean, it does feel like, okay, what else can go wrong around here? I mean, they've tried and tried and tried. It's not for lack of trying, people. I mean, they've spent money. They've tried all these different ways. You get excited a little bit. It just hasn't worked, sustained success. But it has a feel like, oh, man, it is now or never. But it's not. It's not ever, never. But now certainly feels more appropriate than anything else. And that is right on the money. And again, I feel like you were in that interview because I phrased it exactly that way.
Very well might have been,
exactly
man. I might have been in there.
Let's get to Ben. He's hanging on the line. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. What's happening, Ben? Happy draft day.
Happy Trevor Lawrence Day to all of you guys and to all of Jaguars Nation. It's been a long time coming since we get to feel good about what's going on in our quarterback situation, right?
Amen to that.
It's funny, you look around the league and you see so many different franchises that you're so happy it's not us, trying to figure out, are we drafting Mac Jones or Justin Fields or Trey Lance, or is Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson disgruntled? Is Russell Wilson going to beg out of Seattle? And we get to sit back for once and actually be like, man, this decision is made for us. We get to relax and have a good time and spend our 10 minutes on the clock celebrating, not being terrified of what's to come. I think you guys are hitting the nail on the head when it comes to culture. You know, in years of working in corporate America, working with organizational leaders, it does come down to culture. And are the best players on your team, are they leaders? And that's such an issue that we've had with my Orlando Magic, with the Jaguars. Sometimes our best players, when your best players are Jaylen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakoue and guys like that, they're not, and Leonard Fournette, they're not necessarily the guys that you want everyone in the locker room looking towards. And you can see from Urban Meyer, he understands that who he chooses and taps to be the best players on this team, they're going to set the tone for the franchise and for the rest of that locker room going forward. And could you feel like we're in a better position than what you're looking at with Trevor Lawrence, of him being the best player and everybody looking to his work ethic, to his commitment to winning, his competitiveness? And do we have to be worried? Like, do we really have to sit here worrying about whether or not this is going to work? I'm not worried. And I'm as negative and worried about everything. I'm still worried about our left tackle position. I'm not worried about the quarterback position. I'm not worried about the head coach. These two guys get it, and they're made for each other.
Ben, really good call, man. Enjoy the night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for listening to ESPN 690. And that's a good call. First part of it, meaning it is nice not to have to sit here and be overly dramatic about what they're going to do and who could they take. And, oh, man, if they've got to pick between 4 or 5 guys, they're going to screw it up or whatever, you know. We don't have to feel that. This sense of positivity about just run the card up there has been kind of nice. It's been refreshing for something in Jacksonville that hasn't always been that kind of discussion. In fact, maybe you can argue never has been that discussion. And listen, you can have number 1 picks year in, year out, and you might not get that conversation. This is a bona fide, standout number 1 pick. Every team in the league would take him if they were in the Jags position. It really is. I don't care who says Zach Wilson, he's closed the gap. He might even have him flip-flopped on their board, whatever it might be. No, they would take Trevor Lawrence. They would absolutely take Trevor Lawrence. I also think he brings up a good point. Ben just brought up a good point that we don't really talk about much with Trevor, and that's because we probably don't know him well enough yet. But again, Cartersville, Clemson a couple of times. We've heard now enough interviews from other people that do know him. This guy gets after it. You don't get to 52-2 in high school and 34-2 in college without getting after it. He's got talent, but he works his butt off. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be the guy, and I wonder about this also. I think I've even asked you this question. How quickly will he be the guy that people say, man, that guy, he gets after it. You know, he's in here early. Look at him in the weight room. Look at him in the film room. Well, I mean, this guy's not easing in. There's no honeymoon to his rookie year. He's going out there to get W's right away in September until the teammates notice that.
Yeah, Trevor, I'm going to need you to stay out of the weight room, though, a little bit with that shoulder. I mean, you can do yoga and that stuff, but I don't need you on the bench press, you know, doing 225 for as many reps as possible. But, no, I get exactly what you're saying. And to echo the caller's point a little bit as well, you know, where he did mention the culture, and those guys are gone now with Jaylen Ramsey and Leonard Fournette and Yannick Ngakoue. Listen, Jaylen Ramsey, and whatever you want to think about Jaylen Ramsey, say what you want about him. But he went to L.A., and I don't think he's really that big of a nuisance there. I think he's one of the leaders in that locker room there. I think that an NFL locker room, the ones that I've been in, they're made up of an eclectic group of individuals. There's some hardworking guys. There's some divas. There's all walks of life there. But it's the coach's job, and we talked about it before, it's management's job to make sure that that locker room, everyone's getting along, number one, and everybody has a clear goal and a clear understanding. I think that got convoluted. I think when you had Tom Coughlin and Doug Marrone going back and forth, trying to take control of the team, that reflected in the locker room as well. And that reflected in Leonard Fournette, and it reflected in Jaylen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakoue. So I'm not saying that Urban Meyer's going to bring in all these choir boys, and it's going to be a yes sir, no sir type of guy. I don't want that, obviously, on my team, honestly. I want some of those guys, but I want some dogs as well. I want some guys that maybe, nobody gave another shot at because of red flag, and I want, those guys to prove people wrong. So it takes all types to be a great NFL team. We saw it last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We see it every single year with great teams. And I want the Jacksonville Jaguars to focus on that too when the culture is built and when they're ready.
I will say this, to piggyback on that conversation. I was thinking about this recently because I've heard Urban Meyer say it so much. Mm-hmm. I don't remember a coach in this game saying, in this level, saying we're going to do whatever's best for the player, whatever's best for the player, whatever's best for the player. Now, let me be crystal clear. That doesn't mean behind the scenes they don't do whatever's best for the player, right?
They do, yeah.
Listen, this organization rebuilt locker rooms, put in therapy pools or whatever. I mean, yeah. Shad Khan spent money right away to increase the player experience.
Yeah.
So, again, it's not that they haven't tried. It's not that they dismissed players. But, again, it kind of goes back to that old-school football mentality, right, where it's like, what do you mean best for the players? Prima donna. We don't talk about that. Yeah, we're going to take care of the players, but they're going to work their butt off, and Bob, we're going to do the Oklahoma drill. And it's just the mentality of the sport.
Yeah.
I really have never heard a coach at this level so vocal about we're doing what's best for the player, best for the player, best for the player, which shows you here in Jacksonville that he's trying to send a message to the player in the NFL, the player in college. You're going to want to play here, man. He's trying to set that tone. But I think he's also trying to change that culture around from still the NFLPA and 2 years ago in December of 2019 and all of that kind of embarrassment around this organization. He has said it loud and clear. Now he just has to do it with his actions, and I think him and Shad Khan will do that.
Yeah, I think other coaches do share that philosophy, but they're not as vocal about it. But to me, Urban Meyer is sending a message to the entire National Football League about how you do treat your players. Because what has this offseason been all about? The treatment of the quarterback position, right? Deshaun Watson was unhappy. Russell Wilson was unhappy. Aaron Rodgers is currently unhappy. Why? Because they feel like they're not getting treated right. Now, whether that's because of personnel, how you do in the draft, rumblings here or there, there's many of reasons why these guys are not happy right now. But it all comes down to one thing, respect and treating them even better than you treat your other players because, once again, it's the quarterback position. I think Urban Meyer understands that, and it also helps that you're getting a young guy in Trevor Lawrence where he's not going to be concerned with all this hype and all this stuff in the first couple of years, right? He's got to gather his bearings a little bit, establish himself. Then we can talk about maybe a prima donna Trevor Lawrence, even though I think he's not going to go there, but we'll see. But right now, don't have to worry about that. But like I said, Russell Wilson back in the day, he seemed to be a pretty humble, and not to say he's not so humble and low-key, but let's be honest. But let's be honest now. You turn on the TV, he's got a Bose commercial. He's with Sierra going to some, red carpet event. The guy's everywhere, and sometimes when he's not happy, he speaks out a little bit.
Aaron Rodgers, more details coming out. We'll get to it when we come back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Live from TIAA Bank. It's draft night, everybody. You can listen to it right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and very warm today with highs in the mid-80s to near 90 degrees, dropping only into the mid-60s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The Big Hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BEACH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text BEACH to 321-321 right now. Text BEACH to 321-321. Text BEACH to 321-321.
Need a good paying job with a flexible work schedule and benefits? A1A Solar is looking for you. $70,000 is a reasonable first-year expectation. Seasoned reps can easily make six figures. Leads provided to you as well. Health, dental, 401k benefits. A1A Solar is a tremendous company, voted best places to work in Jacksonville, and in 2016 was the Veteran-Owned Business of the Year. Be a part of an awesome company at A1A Solar. Just go visit A1ASolar.com.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I'm Marcus Roberts, a jazz pianist and a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB prepares students for a lifetime of success, allowing them to do more, be more, and achieve more. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
Find just what you're looking for at Arlington Toyota. With over 700 new Toyotas available, Arlington has the model you want, with the features you want, at the price you want. And with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy and a lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles. Shop ArlingtonToyota.com or in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard.
If you, someone you love, your clients, or your customers are golfers, then you must get the Dream 18 golf card. It's the best golf card in Jacksonville. Play at 8 premier courses in Jacksonville, plus get a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats. It's only $95, but quantities are limited. So get a discount card that will save you money on your golf now and allow you to play more golf in 2021. Go to ActionSportsJacksDream18.com now and get your cards while they last. The Dream 18 golf card, available only at ActionSportsJacksDream18.com. It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only, served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
I'm getting the vaccine so that I can travel and be safe.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss says you're working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
I had braces. I still have my permanent retainer in. It's been knocked out twice.
Brent Martineau.
So it's not stuck in there.
No, it's not stuck in there.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Basically, the general manager, Brian Gutekunst,
issued this statement. As we've stated since the season ended, we are committed to Aaron in 2021 and beyond. Aaron has been a vital part of our success, and we look forward to competing for another championship with him leading our team. But the fact of the matter is there are other members of the organization that don't know if and when Aaron Rodgers will show back up in Green Bay. He's going through a lot of change in his life right now. He's engaged to be married. He hosted Jeopardy during the offseason, has a lot of hopes, a lot of different dreams, and I don't think he's particularly happy right now being in Green Bay. And I think this dates back, ironically enough, to the draft last year.
Well, of course, Jordan Love getting drafted, and that's when it would be the tipping point for Aaron Rodgers, or at least the beginning of it, like Adam Schefter just said. By the way, Kuz, what was going on in the background of Adam Schefter there?
Well, they're doing their broadcast is from up in Ohio, so it's just a bunch of drunk people chanting their team.
I was like, what is going on? Is he at like a football practice?
Yeah,
Are they doing drills?
They're doing like it's like outside. Looks like it's in front of the stadium before the draft, from what I've seen.
Hey, Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meetthepick to register each day through draft night. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meetthepick. Pretty cool contest they're doing with TIAA Bank, so make sure you check it out. TIAABank.com/meetthepick, and you can register even through tonight. So get there and do that. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane. Coos is along for the ride as well here on a Thursday. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We are at the bank, man. This is cool. I love it. We're finally here. There's I say there's definitely an internal excitement because I know we have so much radio and TV and all this stuff around it, and it feels like there's a parade happening.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a buzz on where we live our life a lot. Twitter, right? Social media. You can sense it.
Yep.
You hear from other people. I've had more texts from around the country today. It's on, Facebook posts, whatever it is. So, like, it feels like the buzz is real. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just assume that it is. I think that's kind of a throwaway line sometimes around events like this. But I think there's a sense of it, And not only that, Austin, I think there's a sense of it because all of a sudden now we've made this connection. In almost like if you look on a map, it would be like a triangle.
Yeah.
And that probably wouldn't be absolutely correct given my geometry skills. But take Jacksonville.
Isosceles or acute? What kind of triangle are we talking
no idea.
Right
take Jacksonville and go to Cartersville, right past Atlanta.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. And then buzz on over to Clemson, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And then come on down back to Jacksonville. So whatever kind of triangle that is or geometric shape that is, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of interesting because – all eyes are on Jacksonville tonight in Cartersville, Georgia. They know now that we're going to share their favorite son right here in Jacksonville. I think Clemson, the bridge last night, the Acosta Bridge, purple and orange. I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
It was really cool, right? That's pretty neat, just the anticipation. You had Clemson tweeting about it, right? Yeah. So nobody has said, hey, Trevor's definitely coming here. It's official. Nobody has shied away from it either. I appreciate that part of this whole process, that the Jags – Urban Meyer, Shad Khan, nobody's like, well, wait, no, we're going to go, we might pick, it's about the three guys. Nobody's really said that a lot. I know the report that they did extra Zooms on a couple of the players, a couple of quarterbacks, just to double check. But you can't even hide it from guys like Dabo Swinney, the mayor of Cartersville, his former coaches, people here in Jacksonville. We all know it's about to happen. And so it is seriously like a New Year's Eve kind of party and feel because the clock is going to strike midnight. And it's going to be a new year. Well, Happy New Year, Jacksonville. It's the Trevor Lawrence New Year.
Happy New Year indeed, but it's crazy, though, because, well, first of all, with that bridge, are we sure that was a purple and an orange combination, or was it dark blue and orange for Tim Tebow? Was Lenny Curry on it before we were?
Yeah.
Did he have the inside information from Urban Meyer? It begs the question, Brent. Look into it. Hey, I don't want to tell you how to do your job.
Hey, Ben Becker, get on that.
Hey, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, Brent, but look into it, man. But no, you're absolutely right. But it's crazy, though, because it feels like New Year's Eve. It feels like this celebration. But at the same time, it's like it's New Year's Eve, but like literally a couple hours later, it's almost like Christmas because you have pick number 25 as well. So, yeah, when Trevor Lawrence gets announced, You celebrate, you party, the well wishes, everything like that. But then keep in mind, probably, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours down the line, we're going to be talking about the 25th pick and what happens there. And keep in mind what this 25th pick represents. It's important. It's the pick that Jaylen Ramsey, when he left town, you got for him. Right? Now, I get it. City of Jacksonville, deuces to Jaylen Ramsey. Fair enough. I get that. But every time that we see Jaylen Ramsey on that, in that Rams uniform, talking, getting interception, having a good defensive play, there's got to be a part of Jaguars fandom that at least goes, well, what the heck, man? Why couldn't we make that work? Right? Now, we don't have to go back there and talk all about that because that's in the past, and we'll leave the past where it's at. But that's why this 25th pick is important, because it's, once again, it's a symbol that says, all right, this is what we're getting for Jaylen Ramsey, that headache, the back injury, all that Jaguars fans had to endure and continue to endure with him. They got to make this pick right.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And I'm going to spin it to this way about what you just said, because I kind of forgot about the Ramsey stuff, in terms of that being the pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it does. I just haven't thought about it that way.
Well, it's because you've been having Trevor Lawrence-colored glasses, and that's okay, too, bro.
Okay, but that's the point I want to make. I think something like this, Trevor Lawrence potential, the hope of Trevor Lawrence, the hope even of Urban Meyer, but really Trevor Lawrence, it washes away a lot of the bad taste stuff, right? The image stuff, that's Jacksonville, and Jacksonville couldn't keep Jan, and Jacksonville couldn't keep Jaylen, and the NFLPA's after him, and the Jags can't win. And listen, we don't know if it means wins. We don't.
Yeah.
But it does wash away temporarily the view, the optics, the image of Jacksonville, the Jaguars, and everybody that really is so passionate about this fan base and takes umbrage with that stuff and should take umbrage with that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a really good point, because I do think this guy on this night really does take away. Like, we're not talking about that. Last year we were. What are they going to do with number 20, right? What are they going to do in that fourth round? Because they got to get something for Ramsey. We're so mad at that guy. They got to get something. We're not mad at Ramsey as much anymore. I don't feel like we're mad at Ramsey as much as a fan base, if you will.
No, I think they're over the Jaylen Ramsey narrative, as they should
But it's because
right?
of Trevor is my point, I think,
it is,
because of that hope.
It's definitely because of Trevor, and it's definitely because of the hope. But even when it looked like, okay, the Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence secured, there were still people out there saying, I hope the Rams lose. I hope the Rams lose because I want a better draft position for that second first-round pick. So that was always on people's minds as well. Now, not as much as Trevor Lawrence, obviously, but I still think that was on some people's minds. And once again, this is Trevor Lawrence's night. I understand that, not taking anything away from him. But when we focus on pick 25 and what the Jaguars do, I don't want to over-embellish it. I don't want to over-exaggerate it. But essentially, this is the last chance to make it right with the whole Jaylen Ramsey situation. Because after this, you wash your hands of the Rams, say, I don't care what they do anymore. Go win Super Bowls. Go to the NFC Championship game. Do whatever you want to do, Rams. I don't care anymore. Jaylen Ramsey, do whatever you want to do. I really don't care anymore. So there is a lot of weight, in my opinion. There is a lot of there should be a lot of intrigue, in my opinion, with this 25th pick, just because. And once again, don't want to over-exaggerate it, but there's a lot at stake, and it represents a lot in my eyes.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation piece. I think you're right on the money. And listen, they picked Ben Barch and Kayvon Chason.
Yeah.
Whatever they do pick at 25, we will go back and revisit what history says about those three selections for Jaylen Ramsey. And right now, the Rams are winning.
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough I've seen from Chason and Barch. Yes. And I don't know what they're going to get at 25, but you wish it was the 18th pick and not the 25th pick.
Without a doubt.
Right?
Yes.
So they are winning that. They won that. And you know what? On a day like today, it's kind of, that's what my point is.
You don't even want to go there.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't care if they win it. I'm getting Trevor Lawrence.
Give it to him. Yeah. Jaylen Ramsey can ride around in that G-Wagon that's customized. I've never seen it before. Do whatever you want to do, man. You can have your new cleats, your new Adidas cleats, and have fun with that. We don't care. We're all good today.
Yeah, I think it really does feel that way at the very least. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, the latest. Trey Wingo just had this tweet a short time ago.
We just can't help ourselves.
But Trey doesn't usually break news, right?
No, sure.
But he's got some context to the story, at least according to a source. He says this. Source is, the Packers reportedly told Aaron Rodgers they were going to trade him in the offseason, then backed off. It's been a bleep show between them ever since. And within the last week, Rodgers told the team, trade or no trade, I'm not coming back. Buckle up, folks.
Do you want tinfoil hat Austin or do you want realist Austin right now?
It can be both.
All right. You get a combination. All right. Listen. Pat McAfee's gone into the WWE now. He's doing color commentary Friday nights, Brent, right before you guys take over for your Action Sports Jack stuff, okay? Cool. Pat McAfee knows how the business of hype works. He knows how the business of viewership works. Do you think, and once again, this is tinfoil hat Austin, do you think that the ultimate goal here is to get this story created, cultivate it, and have Pat McAfee reach out to his great friend Aaron Rodgers and do almost a sit-down on the Pat McAfee show, and it does ratings that you could not even believe?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Seriously.
That's a good point.
That's tinfoil hat Austin. Now, realist Austin's probably going to say, give this time, okay? We're just getting started here because it's going to be back and forth. There's going to be high school drama. This is what we've seen before play out with Russell Wilson. Well, it's going to be even crazier now with Aaron Rodgers. Just give it time. He's not getting traded tonight. He's not getting traded tomorrow. As he always says, relax. He's not going anywhere anytime soon.
We will see which way it ends up going.
But if he goes on Pat McAfee's show,
yeah, that's a good.
I'm just saying.
Well, listen, I just can't. I think that part, while feels like superficial,
yeah,
these guys are smart, man. I mean, just the branding of all this stuff these days. It's like, keep your name in there for whatever reason, because your agent told you to, your marketing person told you to, you do have a big interview coming up, you're on Jeopardy and want the job and more people talking about it. I mean, I don't know what it is, but these guys are smart. And by the way, it's not the wrong play. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers in Jacksonville on one of the biggest draft days ever. I mean, he's one of the biggest names in the sport. And so what it means fully, who knows? Listen, same thing with Russell Wilson. People talk Russell Wilson, he was staying. Wasn't going anywhere. People talk Aaron Rodgers right now, he's not going anywhere. He's playing for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
That's right. But they do have a fallback option if they want to get a
bunch
of draft capital and get out from under his cap.
I'm just saying.
But it's a little late in the game for teams, too. I mean, you can't do this 3 hours before the draft, can you?
No.
That's what makes it that
cannot.
Superficial stuff kind of maybe be reality.
You absolutely cannot. And I'm just saying, and I'm going to say it one more time. There's going to come a point in a couple of weeks where Aaron Rodgers will probably do an interview, right? And it reminds me of LeBron James who's going to Miami. And I get it. A lot of kids made, the Boys and Girls Club got some donations from it. But you remember that whole scene where it was like the decision? There's going to be a sit-down interview with Aaron Rodgers. And I bet Pat McAfee spearheads it. And it's going to be one of the biggest views of all time on sports radio. And maybe that's what it was all about in the first place. All I'm going to say, tinfoil hat is off now.
All right, we take a break. We've got some props. Did you do some of the props yesterday?
We did them all yesterday.
You did them all?
I think so.
All of them? You didn't save any for today?
Coos, how many did we do all of them yesterday, Coos?
No,
Coos,
we did not do
you
all
had
of
like
them.
55 props, Coos. Like that 5 o'clock hour must have been Prop City.
Yeah, it could be.
We just did the important ones, like will Trevor Lawrence be wearing a tie?
Which, by the way, the guy's wearing a suit, so yeah, I hope he's wearing a tie. Coos and the Trevor
I'm
Tracker.
a suit tonight, not wearing a tie on TV.
All right,
See?
Don Johnson. All right, Don Johnson, Miami Vice. You can open that button up a little bit. It's hot out here,
Show
man.
some chest hair.
I get it going, man.
Yeah.
Shades?
No shades.
Well, come on with the shades. I'm not gonna lie though. I assume the jacket matches the pants
Yes.
here. Like this color.
You like that?
Like this whole getup right here.
All right.
I mean, I don't know what that means coming from me, but I'm just saying I like
Well,
it.
if you want in the commercial break, we can take a picture together.
Okay,
That
that's
way you can have it.
Didn't like it that much, but okay.
What are the Jags going to do at 25? Why do I have a feeling they're moving? They're dealing tonight.
All right.
You think the Jags are dealing? Let's talk about it. We'll dish on it when we come back on ESPN 690. Why did I say that?
You're good. You're good. I give one compliment, you go off the rails.
ESPN 690 Sportscenter Update.
Happy Thursday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Tonight is the biggest night in the NFL. Teams will rise and fall by the decisions that they make tonight at the NFL Draft. Our Jacksonville Jaguars have the first overall pick, and most people believe that they will use it to draft Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. His former Jag, Maurice Jones-Drew, who has a time frame that he believes it will take for the Jags to turn around.
As a Jaguars fan, you can't expect it to turn around like tomorrow. You have to give them at least 3 years to build this roster back up. They have a ton of draft capital. They have a lot of money. And so it's all about hiring guys that are bringing in guys that are willing to compete and really buying into your philosophy.
And elsewhere in the NFL, the Denver Broncos have traded to try to improve their quarterback situation. They give Carolina Panthers a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. Not only that, but the Panthers will pick up some of Teddy Ballgame's contract as well. The Sportscenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The Max Kellerman Show.
The Nets started out the season without James Harden, who's their second best player, and then have played recently without Kevin Durant, who's their best player. Also, when Kyrie joined the team, he and Harden had to figure things out. There was an adjustment period. And so the Nets' record does not reflect, their entire record does not reflect the team they've become.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Boss! Crooks R Us just put out a special bulletin about Safe Touch security.
Special bulletin about Safe Touch? Oh, this is gonna fire up my ulcer, I know it.
Boss, the headline says, Safe Touch Security has announced their new advanced video surveillance system.
Oh, here it comes.
Oof, this is huge. It's a multi-camera interior and exterior professional surveillance system with 24/7 video storage.
Great. Just what we need is Safe Touch up in their game again.
Boss, this is next level. I think Fort Knox would be jealous of this thing.
Deep breaths. They can keep their fancy camera system. It doesn't change the Crooks R Us golden rule one bit. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Nope, doesn't change it, but it sure underlines it.
Just get me a glass of milk, will you?
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I want to go to a concert with my friends in a full arena.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles, from complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Opening day at the ballpark? It's always been something to celebrate. But this year, after everything, this opening day may be the best one ever. That's why Jacksonville's Hometown Credit Union, One-to-One Financial, and Jacksonville's home team, the Jumbo Shrimp, invite everyone to join us May 4th for opening day. Welcome back, baseball. Welcome back, Jacksonville. Welcome back to opening day, May 4th, from One-to-One Financial, a bright path forward.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at Homestead Air Reserve Base or Patrick Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
The Jacksonville Auto Show is back. Celebrate one of the First Coast's premier events, May 7th through 9th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Check out the hottest 2021 models, ride and drives, classics and exotics, and even historic military vehicles. Everything sanitized in a safe and clean environment. The Auto Show, Mother's Day weekend, May 7th through 9th. Free parking from 5-Star Credit Union. Discount coupons at gate gas stations. Tickets available only online at jacksautoshow.com.
When it comes to starting your morning off right, Wendy's is always the best choice. And now that our sweet and savory honey butter chicken biscuit is only $1.99, you have no excuse to get your breakfast anywhere else. It's freshly prepared with sweet honey butter and all white meat chicken on a flaky biscuit. It's never been easier to steer clear of bad breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's and get the breakfast you deserve. The $1.99 honey butter chicken biscuit.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours. A la carte only, not valid in a combo.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
Russell Wilson's agent, on the record, gave Shefty 4 teams Russell Wilson would like to play for. That is an important distinction in this conversation.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
That's what football is. You know you're going to get knocked down and you better get up in a hurry. Okay, dust yourself off and be ready to go again. So, and it's no different for us than that. And you have to practice that in real life. And as I was saying earlier, you don't have success in life in anything without failure. And how you do is way more important than, dealing with success.
Man, Jaguars owner Shad Khan. That's one for like the Instagram right there, where you save that quote and then you put a picture on there and then you quote that. I like that quote a lot. I'm gonna have to use that on the Instagram that I don't have. Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690, Austin Lane, Brett Martineau out and about, socializing, talking to the public, talking to the higher ups, hopefully not giving out any kind of resume, staying within the waters and the lakes that he's used to. ESPN 690. Don't need him to go to the higher-ups because I'm going to be lost without him. But with that being said, draft night, well, it's still draft day right now, but turning into draft night in a couple hours. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall, we know that already. And Brent kind of teased this a little bit before we went to break, but it begs the question, do you stay at 25 or do you move up? Now, I've spoke my piece. You guys know where I stand. I think if you think Kadarius Toney is unequivocally better than any other of the wide receivers that could be in that spot, Rondale Moore, Tutu Atwell, Elijah Moore, okay, take Kadarius Toney. But this is one of the deeper wide receiver classes that we've seen in a while. Now, once again, I say the deep wide receiver class, that still means you have to take the right guy. So if the Jaguars do trade up, right, because I think we can assume the big 3, Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, they're going to go early. No shot of getting those guys. Okay. So if they're gone, I can't see the Jaguars trading up for another receiver, even if there's rumors that Toney might go, top 15, top 20. I can't see that happening. I think the offensive tackle position, I get it. We haven't talked about it a lot. Why? Because it's not the sexiest position out there. Penei Sewell's probably going to be gone, right? The guy from Northwestern is going to be gone. I mean, if we're talking about trading up for the 3rd or 4th or 5th best offensive tackle, I'm going to be honest, everybody. I'm going to be disappointed. All right? Now, maybe it's the bias of me being a former defensive lineman. Maybe it's wanting me, to see the defense get addressed a little more. Whatever the case may be, I don't see that happening either. To me, what it comes down to are the position of needs. Now, take tight end out of it because there's no way Kyle Pitts is falling past number 10. All right? And I don't care what the Shock Your Mock told you, powered by AWS, Kyle Pitts is going top 10. And I think it might be too rich for the Jaguars' blood to move up to try to get him. So take tight end out of the position. So we got wide receiver off the table, lineman off the table, tight end off the table. To me, what it comes down to is the safety, potentially an edge rusher, and that's about it. Well, and obviously interior defensive line as well. But we got a good sense that Christian Barmore might fall to 25. Now, maybe the Jaguars know something that we don't. Where teams are interested, he's probably the best defensive lineman in terms of interior in this entire draft. Maybe the Jaguars don't want to risk it, right? I mean, maybe they do want to risk it and move up to secure him, right? He's played with Charlie Strong, so that there's a little, there's communication there. There's a little bit of a relationship there already. Urban Meyer obviously trusts Charlie Strong big time because Charlie Strong is like equivocally number 2 of that coaching staff. So maybe you can move up to get Christian Barmore, but once again, I think he's going to fall if you want to take him there. To me, what it comes down to is edge rush and the safety position. Safety, obviously, being Trevon Merrick. I think he's the top safety overall. If the Jaguars want to get their guy, and assuming that, once again, Joe Cullen, Trent Baalke, Urban Meyer has him right there, then you go up and get him if you have to get him. Or, knowing Joe Cullen, how he operates, and knowing how a 3-4 defense operates, it starts and ends with their edge rushers. If you don't have edge rushers, you don't have a 3-4 defense. One could assume maybe a guy that we haven't talked about a lot, the Jaguars move up and get that guy at the edge rushing position, because that's kind of the Joe Cullen MO, if you will. And once again, I think Urban Meyer values Joe Cullen's opinion big time. It's going to be exciting, man. After that first pick, when that fireball has settled, when those beers have been put down, you got to re-up. You have to get ready to go again. This is going to be a marathon, everybody, not a sprint. Mind you that. Well, it's going to be a sprint and a marathon. Sprint, Trevor Lawrence, boom, reestablish, re-engage, and then it's pick 25 unless they move up or they move back. We're a few hours away from finding out. More on ESPN 690 when we get back.
They just don't make them like they used to.
People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
GriffinService.com.
1250-697.
Need a good paying job with a flexible work schedule and benefits? A1A Solar is looking for you. $70,000 is a reasonable first-year expectation. Seasoned reps can easily make six figures. Leads provided to you as well. Health, dental, 401k benefits. A1A Solar is a tremendous company, voted best places to work in Jacksonville, and in 2016 was the Veteran-Owned Business of the Year. Be a part of an awesome company at A1A Solar. Just go visit A1ASolar.com. Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
I'm Josh Scobie, proud supporter of the Guardian Catholic School, where we believe that every child deserves access to a quality faith-based education. Grab your friends and join me for the 17th Annual Golf Classic on June 14th at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Play a round of golf to raise money for educational scholarships for deserving children in North Jacksonville. Become a sponsor or reserve your space for the 17th Annual Golf Classic on June 14th. Visit GuardianMillionDollarShootout.com or call 904-765-1920. Guardian Catholic School, faithful protectors of potential.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Spring makes all things new, and the Home Depot makes all spring things possible. Start a garden, refinish a deck. Use our mobile app to put over 2 million products in the palm of your hand. Some ready for pickup in as little as 2 hours. Oh, and if you don't have the tools you need, our tool rental department does. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring. with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Find just what you're looking for at Arlington Toyota. With over 700 new Toyotas available, Arlington has the model you want, with the features you want, at the price you want. And with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy and a lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles. Shop arlingtontoyota.com or in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. The Packers remain committed to Aaron Rodgers. The feeling apparently isn't mutual. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting the superstar quarterback and reigning NFL MVP has informed Green Bay he does not want to return to the team. Packers are aware, and they do not have any plans to trade him. Franchises near the top of tonight's draft need to make a call and see if they can offer Green Bay enough that it can't refuse its offer, says ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
When you are that good, you get to dictate to the NFL where you want to go. And if I'm a team tonight, I'm making the call. Like if I'm the New York Jets, I'm making the call. What does it take to call? San Francisco, I'm making the call. Miami, I'm making the call. The Carolina Panthers, make the call. Because when you have a player who's not happy, he's powerful.
On the 49ers, they did call about Rodgers yesterday. Zero chance, though, there's a trade, so San Francisco will be picking a quarterback at 3 tonight. Draft coverage, 7 Eastern ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, 8 Eastern ABC and ESPN TV. NBA, Brooklyn's Kyrie Irving, groin soreness, won't play tonight in Indiana.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Within a few hours, we're going to make history. Hopefully, it's Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a generational talent. The city of Jacksonville, I hold to my heart, and I know that our fans can't wait to get Trevor in there. We've had a tough time. So now we've paid the dues in going 1-15, and it's been tough over the past few years. So now's our chance to be proud of our franchise in Jacksonville, Florida.
Ooh. Ah, man. Cam Robinson?
No.
Way off, huh?
Jimmy Smith.
Oh.
Jimmy.
Okay. What was that from last night?
I'm not sure when Stewart. So
Yeah.
Stewart sent it our
Oh,
way.
so is Jimmy Smith in Cleveland then?
Yes, it seems to be that way. He'll be
Cool.
on in a little bit to explain a little more.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber in Cleveland right now, living it up. For all your draft coverage needs there in person. I'm checking the weather right now. I called rain. So far, so good in Cleveland. 50 degrees and cloudy. Gross, but it's not raining yet. But hey, don't worry. By 6 p.m., 80% chance of showers. Kuz, you like those odds?
I love those odds because I could bet against it and make some money.
Well, speaking of that, man, I am kicking myself a little bit, in terms of the wagers because, Kuza, and you can attest to this, we've been on the Trey Lance bandwagon for a while now, ever since San Fran traded up to get him. If you want to go back to all the way in December, I said I think Trey Lance is going to be the third quarterback taken. Now, that was before Zach Wilson made a play. I thought it was going to go Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and then Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is is if I would have placed down a little wager, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago when everyone was on the Mac Jones train going to San Fran, Trey Lance was about a plus 550. And for those of you at home that aren't degenerates, that like to keep your son's college tuition in the bank, that would mean if you put down $100, you get $550 back. But of course, I didn't do it because once again, I don't really make that I don't make a lot of wagers per se. But man, if I could have one back because I had a great feeling about it, I probably would have taken that one. But once again, it's not a sure thing. Trey Lance right now is the favorite to go to San Francisco. What does that really mean? How much of it is a smokescreen? Time will tell.
Do you think that changes now? Because I know there was a lot of talk with the Aaron Rodgers stuff and 49ers, and maybe they trade that somehow.
Kuz, I can't stress this enough, man. and I get it because you suffer from the Brent Martineau syndrome where we got to talk about it because for the viewership and we put it out there in the title and people type in Aaron Rodgers and they come listen to us a little bit and it's free endorsements. I get that. Kuz, there is no way. And I repeat, there is no way Aaron Rodgers is getting traded today. He's getting traded tomorrow or the next day or the next day. All right? There's no way. I don't care if it's for 2, 3, 4, 5 first-round picks. I don't care if they throw the kitchen sink at the Green Bay Packers. It's not happening. You don't go to 2 back-to-back NFC Championship games and then all of a sudden say, hey, Aaron, well, it's been real. We're going to go with Jordan Love, who has 0 starting experience in the NFL, but we're just going to say, hey, Jordan, take us to the promised land. Best of luck to you. Not how the game works. So I'd appreciate it if we don't talk about this anymore, because it's only going to make me upset, and we still have an hour left on this show, and Brent's not here right now, so when Brent's not here, you know what happens? I get a little more unfiltered, I get a little more unprofessional, but it's not going to happen. Next question, if you have any more.
Where will we see the first trade tonight?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I can work with that. And once again, I'm not sure what the odds say about this one. I'm not sure where Vegas has this one, but man, I like the New England Patriots because if this offseason has showed us anything, it's that Bill Belichick wants to win. I mean, when you watch your pupil and Tom Brady go to a new team, I'm not sure what that noise was. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did someone just drop the largest pan of all time? Oh, no, that's the smoke machine in the back. Okay, that's the Jaguars. Hey, spoiler alert. Not sure if I can announce it, but there's going to be some kind of pyro and smoke machine here at the Jaguars draft party. So if you don't have a ticket, well, you can't get a ticket because it's sold out. But if you have a ticket, little spoiler for everybody out there, there's going to be some pyro and some Jaguars. There's going to be 2 Jaguars blowing smoke out their nose. So there you go. Not sure if I can divulge that information, but only here on ESPN.
Well, here's the thing. If we don't get invited back next year, we know why.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't see Adam Schefter out here reporting that the Jaguars are going to feature 2 giant Jaguars heads blowing smoke. I don't see Adam Schefter doing it. He's taking the low-hanging fruit in Aaron Rodgers.
I was going to say, not going to lie, I'm pretty sure he's on TV right now talking about Aaron Rodgers.
And that's fine, Schefter, but I'm out here in the heat, in the 80-degree temperatures. Feels like 100% humidity. It's not summer yet, but I'm out here giving out the real information. Jaguars heads will be blowing smoke. Enough said. Now, where was I? The Patriots, right, Kuz?
I think so, yeah. Trading.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Yep, so the New England Patriots. This year, Bill Belichick watched his star pupil in Tom Brady go to a new team and win a Super Bowl. And I don't care what Bill Belichick says to the media about, he's happy for Tom, good for Tom. Good. No. Bill Belichick is the ultimate competitor. Look at how many times the guy maybe had to bend the rules a little bit to get a win. All right? The guy who cares about winning more than anything, cares more about winning even more than Tom Brady. So it absolutely eats him up inside when Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay and he has success. So the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl, and then what happens next? Well, some months pass. It's free agency, and what do the Patriots do? It was like Richie Rich. It was like blank check where that kid went to the candy store and the toy store, and it was a shopping spree. And that's what Bill Belichick did. He got both tight ends. He got defensive line help. He got everything. And it was so uncharacteristic of how the Patriots have always done things. Like, yes, they go after free agents sometimes, but they don't spend as much as they spent this past free agency. So what does that tell you? It shows you that Bill Belichick is in win now mode and he's in desperation mode. And when you're in desperation and win now mode, what do? You do anything possible to make sure that you're secured to go to the Super Bowl again. They re-signed Cam Newton. Now, I don't got to tell anybody how Cam Newton was last year. If you had him in fantasy football last year, condolences. But Cam Newton, and with all due respect to him, was a shell of himself last year. Okay? They re-signed him to a one-year deal. Is Bill Belichick, are the Patriots confident with Cam Newton being the starting quarterback this year? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I get it. You added more pieces at tight end. You added more weapons. But how confident are you with Cam Newton? It's hard to say, right? So that's where I think if I was going to place a bet, if I was going to put a wager down, I think the Patriots trade up to who they have to get at the quarterback position. Because Bill Belichick can say whatever he wants to say in these press conferences about Tom Brady, he's happy for him. He's not, man. This absolutely eats him up inside. And I feel like Bill Belichick's the type of guy that will do whatever is necessary to ensure that New England goes back to the playoffs and, more importantly, the Super Bowl. So to answer your question, Kuz, the New England Patriots.
I can get behind that. Who do you, I guess if I had another question, who do you think will be the one to shock people the most with their draft pick?
Brent, you want to take this one? By the way, I was dropping some news. You missed it.
What happened?
So those giant Jaguars heads back there, you know, that's about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
They breathe smoke out their nostrils. Did you know that already?
I kind of assumed.
What do you mean you assumed?
Isn't that what those things do? What else are they there for?
How do you know? Decoration? I don't know. You mean to tell me that you saw those two giant Jaguars heads, you're like, yeah, those things definitely blow smoke.
Not definitely, probably.
There you go.
I think there's fireworks in this end zone tonight when the pick's made.
I mean, can we announce that type of stuff? Is that like a spoiler? I'm telling you, Adam Schefter better step his game up. Low-hanging fruit, Aaron Rodgers. We're dropping Jaguar heads with smokes coming out their nose, and we're dropping fireworks over here in the corner.
All right, so Kuz, go again. Sorry, I lost. What do you got for me? What am I answering?
Well, so yeah, we were talking. I asked Austin who he thought or who was going to be the first trade of tonight. I said who's going to surprise people with their pick tonight.
Yeah, it's a great one. I have been very consistent where I thought Carolina was the most fascinating team, early on and now late because they trade Teddy Bridgewater away. And I think they can do so much because they can trade out of that 8th spot depending on what they want to do. Quarterback falls. They don't like the quarterback that falls. They want to go back to 15. Patriots move up. Any of that. I think they are interesting team, Carolina. So the first surprise – I'm going to say most people believe that Atlanta's going to take a quarterback. Would you say that? Or do you think most people believe they're going to take Kyle Pitts?
I think Kyle Pitts is there too, man.
Well, then that wouldn't be a surprise. So it's kind of like 50-50.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it'd still be a surprise, I think.
Yeah, I don't know then. Because Pitts is so highly coveted in that regard. I'm going to stick with Carolina. I think Carolina makes the move for Darnold, ends up with a quarterback anyway.
All right.
I'll stick with my first gut from the whole draft process. Carolina works itself back to be with the most interesting team, and they make the first surprise move where they go with quarterback even though they invested in Sam Darnold, and they end up with a quarterback. Might even be more surprising because it looked like for a bit there they had no chance to get a quarterback at 8 as they were running off the board in a hurry. Hey, let's check in with Rick Riles right now. Let's see what's happening on the water and the fishing report. Hope you're having a good day, man. Are they talking about the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence out on the water?
I think there's a lot of guys out on the water to get away from the talk about Trevor Lawrence for a few minutes. Tell you the truth, I don't guess it would help us at all to start a rumor that maybe Kyle Pitts had some terminal disease and nobody should draft him. Could we get away with that, Brent Martineau?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I wish it would work. But anyway, be that as it may, the draft is right here upon us, and we have been drafting some big mahi-mahi, and we signed them in the last couple of days. Oh, my goodness, it seemed like the spring would never start this year, but it really kicked off yesterday. Between the two Jody Lynn boats yesterday, they had over 50 head of what we call gaffers. Now, a gaffer is a mahi that is big enough that you have to use the gaff to get them aboard, and they literally filled their fish boxes with them yesterday. Now, today the mahi bite did slow down a little bit, But the Jody Lynn 2 managed 7 big mahi, a wahoo, and 1 blue marlin. And any day you catch a blue marlin is a very, very good day indeed. And inshore things haven't even slowed down a bit. Still doing very well on triple tail, on cobia. There's more flounder than we're used to this time of year, and the redfish are biting very well. Now, I don't think the small boats are going to be able to make it out to the Gulf Stream for the next few days. I really wish we could go tomorrow. I don't see it. I think it's going to be just too rough. It'll be big boats only, but very soon that ocean will be calming down, and the smaller boats will be able to get out on the mahi and maybe even a blue marlin or 2. But there's one thing you can count on. We're going to be back tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
Thanks so much, Rick. Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. They'll be talking all about this draft on the water tomorrow as well. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow afternoon. Thanks, man.
Count on it, Brent. Thank you.
You bet. That's Rick Riles. Make sure you listen on Saturday morning, 7 a.m., of course, on ESPN 690 as well, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos. Draft time is getting closer, folks. Inside 3 hours now. It's interesting. I first want to tell everybody here in the sound world at TIAA Bank, there's only 7,000 fans coming.
Yeah.
They don't need to blast it to the nosebleeds.
No.
Okay?
Maybe just have an acoustic version.
Are they doing this for everybody across the river? Are there people gathering outside that need to hear this?
That, or maybe the competition's in charge right now, and they're trying to gas us out of here. Maybe they're trying to move us out of here. Guess what? We're not moving, Brent. We're going to stand our ground. I don't care how loud it is.
It is pretty loud.
Yeah, it's right in my ear, but it's okay. We're going to keep on persevering here.
It's pretty wild, too, though. They don't open the doors here until 6:30.
Yeah.
So, again, it's not like people are just waiting and waiting and waiting, which is probably a better thing.
Yeah.
Because once they start trickling in 6:30, kind of get situated around 7,
yeah.
Well, then you got about an hour of build-up
for sure
before everything happens. I left you. I'm not sure you ended up talking about trades or not at 25 for the Jags. Trent Baalke has a history of trading.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that. I got a feeling that they're going to move around. I don't know how high up. I'm not talking Kyle Pitts. I'm not talking Penei Sewell. I just think even a moderate move, if they want Barmore, right, at 18, and they have to go up and get him, or if they, I don't know, Kwity Paye or somebody like that, whatever.
Brent, we are sharing a brain right now.
I mean, so if he drops to 15 or 16.
So when you were, and maybe you're listening on your cell phone.
I wasn't.
Because you can obviously do that, with our streaming services here. But no, what I discussed was what positions in this draft would warrant the most benefit to trade up with.
Yeah.
Right? I understand Kadarius Toney is a hot name, but do you value him that much better than Rondale Moore, than Elijah Moore, with guys like that? It's Tutu Atwell, the guy from Louisville as well. So I don't think so personally. Now, maybe Urban Meyer disagrees with me being a Florida guy. Who knows? But I think the safety position, interior defensive line, and the edge are those 3 positions where if the Jaguars have somebody in those positions, they trade up and get that guy. I think every other position, offensive line, I get it. Like if Penei Sewell fell, 15, that would be great. You trade up. That's not going to happen. Okay. I'm not going to say never, but it's probably not going to happen. So to me, it comes down to safety, interior defensive line, or outside linebacker.
Yeah, and that would make some sense. That would make some sense to go dial up a couple of players that you just don't think are going to drop or you can't get the same amount of value. So just keep an eye on it because Trent Baalke has moved up and down and all around in his previous drafts. By the way, Kwity Paye, did I say this I said it to you yesterday, but I don't think I said it on the radio. He's a Rhode Island kid.
Yeah, no, you didn't talk about this at all.
And I didn't even really realize this. I had him at Michigan, but I didn't track him back to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Well, first rounder from Rhode Island since 1930.
Unreal.
I mean, it's a big story back home. I wasn't even paying attention to it.
You got to step your game up, man.
But
Rhode Island pride at?
The family moved when he was 6 months old to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it's a really neat story on Kwity Paye. But the neat part, at least for me, too, a Rhode Island guy, you just don't have a lot of Rhode Island football players making it to the NFL. Buddy Rodgers is a guy that played for my high school, ended up playing for the Cincinnati Bengals for a couple of years, was really good. But there's another kid from Portsmouth that I'm missing. He went to Boston College, and he was a good player. He had actually a better career than Buddy Rodgers.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, another running back. So we've had some guys, but Kwity Paye, I mean, he's going to be a top 15 pick, it looks like.
Here's the thing. When Kwity Paye gets drafted tonight, hopefully top 15, that immediately makes him like the biggest celebrity of Rhode Island of all time. So do you give him the key to the state? And I say the key to the state because most cities like Jacksonville, you get the key to the city. But it is Rhode Island. So do you guys do the key to the state?
Yeah, I'll have to ask Rocco Baldelli if he's got a key to the state.
I bet he's got a key to the state. Bet he's got one.
There's a decent chance.
Yeah, bet he's got one.
That he does. But I think that's a neat story, and I'm sure it's a big story back home in Rhode Island. You shouldn't care about that part as much, but I'm going to really make a big deal of it if somehow the Jags get a hold of him, okay?
Put that hometown, put that home state in the map, Brent. Do what you got to do.
We will definitely make a big deal of that. Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meet-the-pick to register each day through draft night. Well, today's the final day. Go register. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meet-the-pick. Fantastic contest ends today. Get a chance to meet, well, the pick, which could be Trevor Lawrence. That is TIAABank.com/meet-the-pick. Marty Smith is there at Trevor Lawrence's house for ESPN.
Oh, cool.
He's tweeting. Marty Smith, I think, is a cool guy.
Yeah.
And
I thought he was like an SEC guy.
Yeah.
Got the access, though.
He got the access.
Got the hookup.
Yeah. Yep. He'll tell a good story about that event. You know, he's a good storyteller, and he's tweeting away. And it's not a lot to tweet right now, but he's tweeting like his mom, Trevor Lawrence's mom, ironing his suit.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I can't iron worth a darn, so I can relate to it.
And it looks like a group of about 60 will be there for Trevor Lawrence, and that's the setting. Pretty a good, probably a jubilant reaction, but nothing crazy now. Sure. I mean, they could have shut the town down in Cartersville if they wanted to do that.
Without a doubt.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, less than 3 hours away from this being Trevor Town here in Jacksonville on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Fair to partly cloudy tonight, dropping into the 60s. A hot Friday into partly sunny skies with a scattered late day and evening shower or thunderstorm. Highs close to 90 degrees in the afternoon. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where you get the lowest diamond price guaranteed or your money back.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah. I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com. 1430-261, 1250-697.
Where else can you get lunch and brunch and booze and specials? Only one place, at Cohane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. ColhainesIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new Five Sisters vodka at happy hour. Lunch and brunch and booze and specials and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Colhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
Many of us have been fortunate to have someone along the way take an interest in our career or another aspect of our life. To a small business owner, it is important to have an objective voice to provide advice or guidance to help identify customers, answer a legal question, or review finances. As the nation's premier organization supporting small businesses, SCORE is always looking for people willing to offer their time and expertise to mentor current or aspiring entrepreneurs. If you're interested in joining our team, go to the volunteer tab at jacksonville.score.org and start sharing your knowledge today.
Need ammo? Then grab your friends and come to the gun show. Get them while you still can. Hundreds of guns, knives, and more with concealed carry classes daily. USA Gun Shows is coming to the Ramona Pavilion in Jacksonville this Saturday and Sunday. Follow USA Gun Shows on Facebook and online at usagunshows.com.
At Movember, we're more than a month. To us, every day of the year is a chance to do more. To see less preventative cancers, less male suicide, help more men live happier, healthier, longer lives. We need your support. Give monthly at Movember.com.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Nurses take extraordinary care of us during what is often the most difficult and trying times in one's life. We often take for granted the service and sacrifice of these first responders. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. If you are a nurse and currently face investigation or complaint under the Florida Nurse Practice Act, you are not alone. Call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000 for a consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Max. I can't wake up and say, you know what, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. That's not where I am right where I want to be.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Austin Lane.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous. Giannis Antetokounmpo, big sign, the deer that made Milwaukee famous.
Brent Martineau.
I can buy that.
Yeah, okay. That's all I'm throwing out there.
I can definitely buy that.
Hashtag and trademark. So if somebody try to steal it, I'm suing you.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
We've got to look at what makes it sustainable. And I mean, you're talking about, Peyton Manning. I think, he's a legend, obviously. And I think it's really unfair to put any young rookie coming in, to any legendary player. So I don't want to put any pressure or have any unrealistic expectations.
That is Shad Khan, Jaguars owner. I sat down with him last night, and that was the interesting part. I kind of equated to Peyton Manning, right? And he said, hey, stop the car. Yeah. And what I meant by that is Peyton helped build the stadium, helped build the city. If you look at Indianapolis in 1999 as to what it is today, I got to believe the growth. And I'm not saying it's all Peyton Manning either. I think what Peyton brought is obviously recognizability to the Midwest there in Indianapolis. He became a legend in that town, beloved in that town, but they won football games. When you win football games, you get a buzz and everybody gets excited and you can build stuff up and you want to become bigger and bigger and roll on the momentum. And that's what happened. Well, if you look at Jacksonville right now, got a ton of momentum, man. You can't buy a house in Jacksonville right now. I mean, there are a lot of people that want to be here. That's without the football team being good. Correct. Well, here comes Trevor Lawrence. Here comes Urban Meyer. Shad Khan wants to develop in and around the city. I always talk about New England this way. Kraft bought the team. They had a little sniff of it with Parcells and Bledsoe in '96 when they had some success. But what happened is they got lucky with Brady. At the same time, they built a new stadium. And at the same time, they were building around the stadium. And then they just kept winning and winning and winning. So it all came together. Development, new stadium, success on the field. Indianapolis, success on the field came first. Development in the city, development of a new stadium here in Jacksonville. Can success come with Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer? Then pass through some Lot J shipyards or whatever else, stadium approval. And now we look up 5 to 10 years from now, and we've got all that too. And you get a little lucky. Jags got lucky. They got the #1 overall pick. Maybe it's that kind of time.
Well, and I've had this comparison, too. We talk about the Seattle Seahawks. Pete Carroll did the exact same thing. When Pete Carroll got there, it was new lifeblood. It was new energy. They got lucky. They got Russell Wilson. They had a great defense. Guy by the name of Beast Mode took over for that team as well. But then what happened? They got new jerseys. Now, I'm not sure about the city around them if they built a lot, but it was like a completely new rebrand, a completely different team, and it really kind of spearheaded with Pete Carroll. Urban Meyer comes to Jacksonville. Can you kind of replicate that a little bit, right? I mean, you feel good about it. Urban Meyer, a lot of success in college. Trevor Lawrence, new school quarterback, a highly coveted quarterback. You can maybe see the same thing that happened in Seattle happen now in Jacksonville, and obviously to echo your point with New England, and then you build around the stadium as well, and you build up downtown.
And I like in all really the examples, the teams came out of nowhere, man. They were bad. Now, again, New England had a little bit of success, and they were in a big market.
Yeah.
But Indianapolis, I feel like they won 3 games my whole childhood until Peyton Manning got there. And even their first year, they really struggled.
True.
Seattle didn't even know they had a team for a while.
I mean, they had that one run with Matt Hasselbeck and Sean Alexander, but that was one year, it seemed like.
So, again, I mean, where you get on the relevancy scale, and by the way, the NFL is bigger than it's ever been anyway, so it's impossible to be irrelevant, quite frankly. So we have blueprints of it. That's the bottom line. Hey, Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber is out in Cleveland up at the draft, and he's hanging out with a bunch of Jags fans. We just had him live on TV. He's killing it up there. I mean, he's at a Jags party, and Jimmy Smith's there, and Kevin Hardy's there, doing all these interviews and catching up with the Bold City Brigaders. So Stuart's having a lot of fun. He just caught up with Jimmy Smith a short time ago. Listen into that.
Catching up with Jaguars legend Jimmy Smith here in Cleveland, Ohio. Jimmy, well, what made you want to come up here and be part of the fun and the festivities up here in Cleveland?
Well, I have to give credit to the San Antonio Brick City Brigade. It's our fans. It's the Jaguar fans who have made this happen. It's the fans who have made this happen. And I want to just give thanks to the San Antonio Brick City Brigade for supporting the former Jaguar players. For me, it's good for my Hall of Fame campaign, and supporting our team. As from what I see, myself, Aaron Beasley, Kevin Hardy are the ones that are up here representing Jag Nation and Duval.
I think that's one of the coolest things about this franchise is so many of these former players, the second you're done with your playing career, you kind of transition into that fan and you continue to want to see your franchise do well. And for the franchise, there's not that many days bigger than this one when you consider what's at stake here in a few hours.
Yes, within a few hours, we're going to make history. Hopefully it's Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a generational talent. The city of Jacksonville, I hold to my heart, and I know that our fans can't wait to get Trevor in there. We've had a tough time, so now we've paid the dues in going 1-15, and it's been tough over the past few years. So now's our chance to be proud of our franchise in Jacksonville, Florida.
You have an interesting perspective on quarterbacks, being a wide receiver and knowing how much of a difference having that guy, that 6'6" guy who thrives on the deep ball, thrives on progressions, how much of a difference that can make for an offense, and that's what the Jags will be getting with Trevor Lawrence.
Well, exactly. That's what the Jags are getting with Trevor Lawrence, a winner. He's only lost 3 games, which is a phenomenal accomplishment throughout his whole playing career, going back from high school to college, and being that he's 6'6", he's been successful. It's like he's coming off the mound, throwing the ball to the receivers downfield. So I'm just looking for some awesome things out of this first pick of the draft in Trevor Lawrence.
Just a couple more for you. You talk about your Hall of Fame candidacy and really wanting to ramp up that campaign. When you look at these lists that show who was the best wide receiver on every team in the NFL, and your name pops up there, and the numbers pop up there, and you see the guys around you on that list, you're like, hey, this feels like I'm in the right company when you're talking about these guys.
Especially, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, just look at the numbers. And for a guy like myself, that played a decade ago, more than a decade ago, I don't want to be forgotten. And our fans, I guess that's why I so wholeheartedly care about our fans, because I depend on the fans to help me with my Hall of Fame campaign. And I'm really appreciated. And hopefully one day, if I do get inducted, all of Jag Nation will be inducted. And
we'll leave you with this last thought. Urban Meyer, when you kind of see that news and you hear about this guy who tore up the college game, getting a crack at the NFL, what were your thoughts, and what do you think is in store for the Jags with Coach Meyer?
Well, I'm extremely happy that Coach Urban Meyer is our coach. I like the things that he's bringing to the table with performance, improving the performance of each athlete. That's important. You don't hear many coaches around the NFL talk about each athlete and improving on their performance. And that comes with nutrition, getting them faster, stronger, healthier athletes individually. Coaches in the NFL are missing out on that. And that's important. And I'm glad to see that be a mission for Coach Urban Meyer and his pursuit to put a championship team on the field. And I'm talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's Jaguars wide receiver and legend, Jimmy Smith.
Great stuff from Stuart Weber and Jimmy Smith. Appreciate him joining Stuart for a few minutes. I love the candor there about the Hall of Fame. You know, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith. It's everybody, but so many people believe, and I know there's been a long push for Baselli, but I do feel like it's a floodgate opening a bit. I was up in Canton, what was it, when we made that trip around Super Bowl week, right after the Super Bowl? Oh, no, it was during Super Bowl week. We ended up in Canton. And there was a heavy belief that not only Baselli would get in soon, and Salpal thought he would get in next year, but Fred Taylor's numbers, go look at him. Jimmy Smith, we brought up, look at some of the numbers, right? And so the resumes are there. I think we just got to get some momentum for those guys. I just appreciated the candor from Jimmy Smith about, hey, the numbers don't lie. It says it right there. I did enough to get in and be considered and be in the conversation. And then how about the part of, I'm going to bring Jackson. We want to all get in there together. I'm going to bring Jacksonville in there. There is a cool relationship between Jacksonville Jaguars fans and Jimmy Smith and so many of the former greats here in Jacksonville. And I think, as former players, and you're one of them, after suffering through a lot of the times, this must feel good from kind of that point of view. Going all the way back to when they had success with Jimmy Smith and that football team in the 90s, to the struggling teams along the way, the almost team of 2010. This has to feel good for Jags alum right now to say, hey, man, we got a guy potentially, into because of Urban Meyer, that we can hang our hat on and maybe enjoy the ride and show a little pride of playing for the Jags.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing, you know, and it's great because, like you said, Brent, I mean, this past decade there hasn't been a lot of highlights, but you know, if you go back and you actually appreciate it, like guys like Jimmy Smith, Tony Baselli, and obviously Fred Taylor, you know, like these guys have something in common. They're all around the Jaguars still, right? Like you see them in interviews, you see them on TV sometimes. They're all over the place, and that's great. To me, like, yeah, I get it. Like, they're part of the past, but also you have to appreciate the past. In order to build for the future, you look towards the past. So I think the more the Jaguars can do with those guys, and the more Jaguars fans can support those type of players, hopefully those Hall of Fame hopefuls one day, and hopefully, you know, Tony Baselli can set it off, and it's a chain reaction from there. I think the more you do for those guys, the more it's going to help you in the long run and also in the future as well.
Well, nice job by Stuart Weber. Watch more of that coverage, by the way, on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. It's a cool scene at the bar up there where Jaguars fans are hanging out, and they're fired up, and there's a lot more of them. Met a couple people this week. Bartram Trail Athletic Director Ben Windle, his son, going up there to the draft. Barry Craig, former athletic director of Bartram Trail, he's going up there too. So I love seeing people go up for the draft. Remember, last year you couldn't do that. Everybody wanted to go to Vegas. We were set to do it and just couldn't make it happen because of the pandemic. I miss going to the draft. I'm really excited to be here because we have so much coverage. It's such a huge moment here in Jacksonville, and Trevor's obviously in Clemson, South Carolina, and not up at the draft. But I'm glad Stuart's up at the draft as well. And Stuart's been on a lot of those trips before, and we run into so many Jags fans, and it's really cool. So many of the Bold City Brigaders over the years have been to the draft, from New York to Philly to Chicago to Dallas. They would have been in Vegas, and now to Cleveland. And I still have some steak dinners on the fact that someday, and it better happen sooner than later,
you better
the
hope
draft
it happens sooner than later.
will be here in Jacksonville. It's just too good of a setup in Jacksonville. It has to happen in Jacksonville.
I'm just saying, man.
But it has to happen by like 2028, I think it was.
I'm just saying, Jay shut down, and all of a sudden I had a taste for lobster bisque in my mouth, Brent. I had a nice taste for lobster bisque and a nice cowboy ribeye.
You know where my vote was for Lot J? It had everything to do with those 8 steaks that I owe from Ruth's Chris if they don't get the draft here sooner than later. Hey, let's take a break. We come back. One more segment to go. All the build-up. It's finally here. What kind of moment will it be for the city of Jacksonville, for this franchise? And then, we'll talk more about the draft the next couple of days, but then we start to flip the page a little bit. How do you get it done? You got to go to work. What's it going to look like? What's his team look like? The conversation will shift a little bit. I understand for some it's been Trevor all the time, but it's a momentous moment here in the city of Jacksonville. We'll continue to discuss it, what we expect here tonight out of number 1, out of number 25, and then I think tomorrow's a huge day as well. We probably get introduced to Trevor Lawrence here in Jacksonville, and then there's 3 huge picks at 33, 45, and 65 for this football team. We'll be right back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Draft coverage rolling on here on a Thursday in the River City.
ESPN 690 Sportscenter Update.
Happy Thursday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Tonight is the biggest night in the NFL. Teams will rise and fall by the decisions that they make tonight at the NFL Draft. Our Jacksonville Jaguars have the first overall pick, and most people believe that they will use it to draft Trevor Lawrence, quarterback from Clemson. Here's former Jag Maurice Jones-Drew, who has a time frame that he believes it will take for the Jags to turn around.
As a Jaguars fan, you can't expect it to turn around like tomorrow. You have to give them at least 3 years to build this roster back up. They have a ton of draft capital. They have a lot of money. And so it's all about hiring guys that are bringing in guys that are willing to compete and really buying into your philosophy.
And elsewhere in the NFL, the Denver Broncos have traded to try to improve their quarterback situation. They gave Carolina Panthers a 6th-round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. Not only that, but the Panthers will pick up some of Teddy Ballgame's contract as well. The Sports Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
J.J. Watt, interesting choice. Imagine the conversation we're having today if he signed in Green Bay. Instead, he goes to Arizona, signs to play in the best division in football. Are they the 4th best team in that division? Could be. He went to the place that had the salary cap space to afford him. And again, that's not a criticism. It's just a simple statement of fact.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Here in the Sunshine State, we live in 2 time zones. We cheer for 3 NFL teams. We have over 3 million men over the age of 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. If you're having problems in the bedroom, you'll see results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, where your consultation is free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. If pills like Viagra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain and no surgery. You'll see results right in the office, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Vacations are coming back, so before you hit the road, get your vehicle checked out by the pros at Honda of the Avenues. Honda of the Avenues Service Department continues to get 5 stars for their certified technicians using certified parts. The new Express Service Center is now open, so stop by if you need an oil change, tires, battery, wiper blades, or if you need any repairs to your vehicle. Awarded the 2021 Dealer Rater Consumer Satisfaction Award. Honda of the Avenues. Easy to find on Phillips Highway south of 295 or at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? So that I can go back to church.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Zach Wilson's 21. Sam Darnold was 21. We're going to place a billion-dollar organization on a 21-year-old's shoulders. Doesn't make sense to me, really. I don't know how you can ask a 21-year-old to handle all of that. And so to be able to have a veteran in there so a 21-year-old can actually learn. And I get the paces thing. I know that it's not going to be a 5-year process anymore. I know that our league is younger. Young guys do have to play earlier, but at the quarterback position where there's so much development, where there's only 2 men in the organization that carry records, the head coach and the quarterback. No one else ever has to carry a record when it comes to his team. What are we going to do as an organization? What is any organization going to do when you're bringing a 21-year-old quarterback in? Are you just going to dump it in his lap? Because if you do, that's completely unfair.
I have no idea who that was.
That was Bomani Jones?
No.
Oh.
Former player.
Former player. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I got nothing.
That was Chad Pennington.
Okay. Who was he? Was he talking about Lawrence or Zach Wilson?
Zach
I also
Wilson.
can't hear.
Okay.
I got you.
All right, I can't even hear myself think.
Hey, listen. If you sign a Chipotle endorsement, you can handle the pressure. So don't give Zach Wilson the leeway. He can handle it.
You know what's wild is obviously Trevor Lawrence. The guy's got he's a marketing major.
Yeah.
So
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
man.
I wonder how much he's had an impact. I said that earlier this week, but he also gets all these endorsements right now. Have I missed some? I mean, I see the Chipotle stuff for the other guys.
Yeah.
But is he that much more marketable right now before everybody gets drafted? Like New York and the businesses might not be as ready to go all in on Wilson because they're not convinced he's going to New York just yet, but as soon as he ends up with the Jets, he'll get a bunch of marketing opportunities.
I mean,
is Mac Jones not as marketable? Is Justin Fields not as marketable? Is he marketable? Is Trey Lance marketable? It's interesting just because Trevor's signing all these deals.
Yeah.
And I don't see everybody else doing it, but maybe I've missed a couple.
No, I mean, maybe you have missed a couple. But at the same time, I think like Trevor Lawrence is the surefire thing. The other guys, they're probably going to wait and see a little bit. Or maybe, if you're Zach Wilson, you've declined a couple things and wait till you got more acclimated. But I'm going to say this right now, Brent. And, obviously I've been going a little hard in the paint on Twitter. Heaven forbid that Trevor Lawrence sign a national, Mercedes-Benz, endorsement. Or, I don't know what else. Give me, a Porsche endorsement. If that happens, I'm going to tell you right now, Brent.
Tesla?
Maybe Tesla.
You better not take my Fields Auto Group.
No, for sure. I'm going to say if that happens, Brent, you might as well delete, or you might as well block me on Twitter because I will be insufferable. I will honestly be so annoying to everybody that you probably get sick and tired of me.
Is that because of the global reach?
Well, it's because you're supposed to sign a Ford local dealership. Well, nothing against Ford and the Ford local dealership, but that was supposed to be the path for him. And if he goes worldwide and signs a Mercedes or who said, great idea, a Tesla endorsement, Just saying, man. Just saying.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Hey,
two big stories three big stories right here in Jacksonville. We're counting down to draft day. It's going to be a cool night. You expect it to be a cool night?
Absolutely. How can it not be?
Are you locked in front of the TV? You going to work out? You got some family things first? What's the deal?
So I'm going to go work out. I'm going to be home before 8 o'clock sharp, and then tune into the draft. Probably fire off some tweets. You know how I get down on draft night, and we'll go from there.
All right, and you're going to flip over around 8:15 to Fox 30 to watch me.
My son is going to hold me accountable and make sure that I do that, honestly.
Definitely. We're there until 10 o'clock, remember. 7 until 10 straight through. So I get it. You'll probably watch the pick. I understand that. NFL Network. But we'll have the reactions from here. Trevor Lawrence, hopefully, on a Zoom call live. And we have all sorts of content. We'll hear from Trent Baalke and Urban Meyer along the way on this Thursday night, NFL Draft Night 2021, one of the biggest in Jags history, and you really can feel the moment. I hope everybody out there has fun with it. There's other storylines going on right now, and that is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Now, the latest one is he has teams on his list. The Raiders, the Broncos, the 49ers.
This is supposed to happen in a week, I said. It happens an hour later? Yeah, so the 49ers, Broncos, Raiders. According to Sports Illustrated, their Twitter, Aaron Rodgers reportedly has a preferred list of those trade destinations right now. 3 of them. What are we doing?
I think what would be a really fascinating thing to the night is if San Francisco, who moved up to get those picks, everybody thought they were going Mac Jones. We all along thought they were going Trey Lance. Some wondered if they were going Justin Fields. And now it's kind of on the Trey Lance train as of late, the narrative and the momentum.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, they take that pick and trade it to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers, and they end up with Aaron Rodgers out of all. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that scenario?
No, man. I simply cannot imagine that because I would get I would be talking too many people down from the ledge if that was to happen back in Wisconsin. That's not going to happen.
That would be pretty wild. Can we go live to the pickle?
I'm telling you, you better get that dump button ready because there's going to be a lot of disappointed folks out there. Jordan Love, no pressure or anything.
Oh, that would be wild. Okay, the other big story kind of surfaced this afternoon is Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Interested in playing tight end in the NFL for Urban Meyer, requesting a workout. I can tell you this, folks. I've heard for weeks, just wasn't confirmed that he had already worked out for the Jags. I don't think the Jags are going to comment on that tonight, maybe after the draft is done tonight because they might be forced to.
Yeah.
But that came out today on draft day, that Tim Tebow. It's fascinating. I can see some of the logic in it from Tim's point of view. He's 33 years old. Why not give it one more try?
Yeah.
Urban's here. It's their hometown team. I can see it from Shad. Remember, Shad Khan wanted Tim Tebow to at least give it a try.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to make it work that way. Tebow picked the Jets instead. Play for your hometown team. There's a lot of cool storylines around it from Tebow's perspective, from the team's perspective. I have no idea if it will come to fruition because at the end of the day, he's going to have to be able to prove that he can play the tight end position, win a job, and be worthy of a spot to at least compete.
If it was going to work for Tim Tebow, it's going to work in the best environment possible. Having Urban Meyer here, that gives him the best environment possible. But at the same time, it makes me want to grab a football right now after our show, Brent. I'm going to have you throw me some post routes, some corner routes, and I'm going to put on an audition because I know someplace around here, Shad Khan's around here. I know someplace Urban Meyer's around here. Hopefully they get a little glimpse of my tight end skills, and I go to Urban Meyer and I say, hey, you want competition or not? Go ahead and get me in training camp at the tight end position. Let me and Tim Tebow go at it. Let's see who the better man is.
You played some tight end, right?
All-state in high school, Brent.
You and Terrence Knighton. Wasn't Terrence Knighton an all-state receiver?
He was.
Tight end?
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah.
But you're 6'6", 245, man. You could get back out there for a couple years.
If
Tebow can make it, will that inspire you to go back to the NFL?
I'm just saying if Urban Meyer wants competition, go ahead and give me a call. We know where we stand in the Wonderlic scores. I've brought it up many times before. Does that correlate to football? Not really, but it only can help me.
It's been a lot of fun. All the build-up to this moment, really cool. Make sure you check it out. You can listen on ESPN 690. The entire draft tonight is right here on ESPN 690. You know where to watch. CBS 47 and Fox 30. We have live coverage. I'm going to do another live shot right now, starting at 7 all the way through 10, plus more reaction in our late newscast through 11:30. Make sure you check it out. We'll digest it all. We'll be introduced to Trevor Lawrence tomorrow. We'll have it all for you on the show. Once again on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Nice work, Coos. Good job, Stuart Weber from Cleveland. Austin Lane, Brent Martineau. TIAA Bank's going to be rocking.
See you on the other side, Brent.
In a bit. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for you, Jacksonville. Excited for this franchise. And we will see it all unfold in just a little bit. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now: Atlantic Beach, Mandarin,